Created by a guy called Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Geek Bar that does D&D.
Well, we lose a player already.
Yeah. For those of you that aren't aware, Alan's character Magmon died off screen.
But he's dinosaur.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Tomb of Annihilation. We left our adventurers 2 weeks ago at the entrance to Fort Balurian, where they had just been negotiating some quests with Lyra Porter, who heads up the fort. I believe you were starting to make your way in. You were told there's a bazaar. You've been informed that you'll be paid for ghoul heads, 20 gold pieces a head. And if you're able to find out what the cause of some strange giant-sized footprints in the jungle are, that would be much appreciated as well. Of course, you are here because Oriana promised. Ariana's friend said he would pay for.
Can I save some time? The footprints.
Yeah.
Fuck, they give you the money.
Yeah.
You can go home.
Moving on.
Yeah, the source of the footprints. Oriana, your ally, the friend of your mentor, asked you to go along to try and cause a distraction, which you rightly have with your bagpipes that you played at the entrance. And he has given you 50 gold pieces to pay for your Charter of Exploration, which means you won't be harassed by the Flaming Fist whilst doing your exploration, the Flaming Fist being the guys that head up the Fort Balurian. You're just about to head into the fort, I believe. What's everyone doing?
Well, I believe you guys wanted to get some supplies. I think that's where we left off last week. Well, they said there was a shop anyway.
There's a bazaar in here, yeah, where you can find stuff that you might struggle to find in Port 9's Iron. Stuff like weapons and armour, because they're not as common around here. I mean, obviously, if you want, you can at this point turn around and go back to the boat and head back to Port 9's Iron. That's also an option. The giant turtle is temperamental. You may encounter it again, you may not. Lyra Porter has kind of bid you adieu and she's gone back to her quarters. But yes, that's where you're at. Did you want to go to the bazaar? Did you want to head back to the boat? Or?
I don't think there's anything actually.
You're like grabbing short food. Oh, yeah. You're still fighting it.
So, is it your teacher, your confidant?
Yeah, my master's informant.
Gave you 50 gold pieces for the Charter of Exploration?
He's paid for it.
And he paid for the charter so that you would cause a distraction here. Which you have done by talking. You've got the attention of the lead lady, the woman that runs the place, played the bagpipes, and he snuck off. He said he needed to get into like the boss's office to find something, but wouldn't tell you what it was. He snuck off. You haven't seen him now.
But we don't have the charter at the moment.
Yeah, you just bought the Charter of Exploration,
Yeah, we've just got that.
which is kind of like a scroll with like lots of information on it. Saying that kind of like the people herewith are provided with permission to adventure, yada yada yada.
So we can leave without him, that's fine.
He didn't expect to go back with you, know. He'll make his way back.
Right, if Magman's wanted to find his brother, I suggest we get back to the port and head to the town.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We can solve these other problems later.
I think we did shopping last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because we're sharing a tent. Yeah,
Yeah, we
we
got
did
the
the whole
main
shopping
shopping
thing
thing.
last
What
time.
kind
so
of
I think we're ready to set up.
odd things we wouldn't usually find are at this bazaar?
So, normal armour is not found in Chult typically.
Okay.
So, like heavy armour, medium armour, you don't tend to find in Port 9's Zara because it's too hot, essentially. You're not very comfortable though at Magmond in your kind of armour. It's pretty sweaty. So it's not the kind of thing you typically find. So that's the kind of thing you'd be able to buy.
I'm better without armour anyway, I can tell that.
Yes, most of you are, I think.
Is there any enchantment possibilities at this bazaar?
You are... You can certainly go have a look.
Yeah.
You can go have a wander around the fort if you like, have a little explore, see what there is.
You guys have, I mean, there's a fort for a reason.
We always come back.
Yeah.
I think his brother's not. Yeah, we need to go get him. I think he's wanting to.
Yeah, we'll head to the fort then.
Cool. So you have...
If you want to save your brother. Yeah.
Magmonder's tucking into a wonderful dinosaur burger that he's just picked up from the bazaar. So.
Chicken burger.
So yeah, you've got your charge of exploration. Lyra has kind of bid you adieu and walked off. The guards give Oriana a lingering, dirty look as she turns to leave.
It's okay, Ariana. Go through the 10 steps of car. We talked about this.
I really wish I could think of some Ariana Grande songs.
Thank you. Next. Let's see anyone. Anyone to know.
Cool, so you're just heading back to the boat to see Erky Timbers?
Yeah.
All over there.
Nice. You start to walk back down the trail away from the fort, leaving it in the distance. As you walk away, you can see again the flag of the Flaming Fist flying from it, which obviously you'll be very familiar with. It's the flag of Baldur's Gate from your home city, Oriana. You head back towards the port where you were. I didn't know if I mentioned this last time, but there's actually a couple of boats that fly the standard of the Flaming Fist. And you see Erky Timbers, the known captain with whom you came over here, seems to be chatting to some of the Baldur's Gate, the Flaming Fist, talking about kind of sailing stuff. And as you come, he goes, "Oh, hey guys, are y'all ready to go? Got everything you need?"
Oh, yeah. I remember that actually.
You're on duty.
Yes, Captain. Sweep back to the port.
Excellent. You see, as he says excellent, he shakes as well. It's wonderful to meet you, Captain. He shakes the hand of the pirate who's the sailor he was talking to. Can I get perception checks from everyone?
No.
Okay. You're not looking, that's fine.
It's like,
Not one.
Usually nothing.
You're not looking either.
You're blinded by the sun.
Oh, I got a 3 to
You
be
got an
fair.
eyelash in your eye. 14.
14,
16.
16.
I got a 16 as well.
8.
5.
Yeah. Mine totaled up to a wondrous, I think, like.
So, Scotch Broth and...
Oh, it's a 7.
Oh,
You've got +5 on perception.
we love to see it.
Yeah, I can.
Scotch Broth and Weaver, you see him slip, as he goes to shake his hand, you see a glint of something, as if Erky Timbers has passed something to the sailor he was talking to. And then you can also see some of the homunculi, about 10 of them flying, and they seem to be fluttering around holding a package of some description, and they land back on the boat. Erky Timbers, right? Get on board, everybody! Let's get back, get you into the jungle!
So it's Heidi's friends being loud. Jonas.
He
So it was a sailor that passed this to this.
So Captain Erky Timbers seems to have passed something that glinted to one of the sailors, and you see also all the homunculi flying with some kind of package that it seems to be been carrying from one boat to the boat we were about to hit.
I missed it again. So Erky Timbers passed something to the sailor, or the
Yes.
other? Okay, I had it the other way around.
Oh,
Right.
I thought you said it the other way around the first
No,
time.
Erky Timbers passed something to the sailor. I might say the other way around.
I mean, Mr. Timbers getting hammered again.
Well, if you like, I've got a bit of a headache from yesterday, but we shouldn't be sailing overnight. We're setting off in the early morning, so we should be back by late afternoon.
I am ready for round 2.
I didn't know you did personal deliveries, Captain. Do you have to pay extra for such a delivery?
We'll talk about that on the boat. He kind of gives you a look, like, kind of walks you all on, takes you on the boat. The homunculi bring the plank, as it were, back onto the boat. Sails go up. You see it as well. There's like lots of oars, which you can only assume below decks are powered by hundreds of homunculi, which row the boat out, and you start to go out to port.
I'm really sorry for this homunculi.
How do you like it?
We're not
If
going
I
to
give
get
them a
hurt.
sock,
They're
will I
attached
get
to
free?
timbers.
Then try giving them a sock.
No, I don't have that many socks. Now they are part of Erky Timbers.
You don't know that.
You don't know that this is a.
I thought we knew
Yeah,
that.
stop.
No,
Tom
being
knows.
Scots
Weaver
Broth.
knows it. Weaver and Scotch
Oh,
Broth
we don't know
know
that.
it.
Okay, I'm having add that to my notes.
Fine.
Otherwise I won't know what I know.
As you sail off, you can
You don't
see
know what to do.
you can see Erky's kind of looking off the back of the boat as you start to sail away, kind of looking back the way he came. Does anyone talk to him about?
Fearing being pursued, Captain? I was like, put my hands on my chin, just in a
Acting coy.
shitty grin, of course.
He goes, well, I was talking to one of them captains, and they say there's pirates in these waters, and I don't want to get caught by no pirates. However, as he says this, you see a group of homunculi start to fly up to the top of the main mast where the crow's nest is. So you in the crow's nest.
Yeah.
You see all these homunculi fly up near you with a big package by the crow's nest. He goes, well, rumor has it that if you fly the flag of Baldur's Gate on your ship, you see they take a big flag out and start to attach it to the top of the pole. The pirates don't attack you.
So it's not pirates, it's privateers working for the guards of Baldur's Gate.
Well, not officially. As far as I know, it's not what they said. They just said that they were told to fly the flag and they've not been caught. So perhaps it will get us out of trouble. I don't know.
Money in right pockets, I think.
Can I ask
Yes.
Earthy Timbers if he's heard any news on the Star Goddess ship which went missing?
The record, yeah. You absolutely can. I suppose you come down from the crow's nest.
Yeah.
Like
No, just Berkey Timber!
By the way, mate.
I suppose you could actually just talk to the homunculi. Oh, you don't. Oh, you do know that you could just talk to the homunculi.
Yeah.
So not only can he like feel, like he can listen and see through them as well.
Do you remember you tried to break in and they all looked at you like this? And he went, "Where do you think you're going, Missy?"
Oh yeah.
You ask him about the Star Goddess.
That girl in
He
love.
goes, well, I know that she's a gnomish vessel. A special type of ship, you see. An airship. It had a big balloon which carried it up out the water and towards Chult. No one's seen it. I haven't seen it. Got lost somewhere in the jungle. It wasn't carrying gnomes. I think it was just gnomes that made it. I'm not quite sure where it's coming from.
Oh, okay.
But they crashed somewhere in Chult, I have to assume.
And it was an airship, so I guess these pirates are just water-based pirates.
As far as I know, we don't have any dragons. That would be concerning. But as far as I know, they are sea pirates.
So no airships.
Nope, not well. That's not what the reports have said, and that wouldn't be a very subtle pirate either.
True.
But no, as far as I know, the Star Goddess just got lost.
Okay. I'm gonna go back out the crow's nest.
Look up the crow's nest with your feline agility. Cool. Is anyone else doing anything on the ship?
Drinking.
All right. I've been with your type before. Kind of goes in the back, opens the door. You can see, looks. You go in. Whoever wants to go in for a drinking session, and you look at the back wall where all the spirit bottles were.
Well.
Empty. He opens his chest, also empty. Well, this is I think I've got a barrel down below deck. And you can see he kind of stands there, rolls his eyes into the back of his head. Oh yeah, I do. I'll bring it right up. So take a seat. Get some glasses. And a couple of moments later, these
I've got the
homunculi.
glasses in the. I've got some glasses. Yeah.
And you spend the journey having some really good quality red wine. What's everyone else doing on the ship?
I'm gonna join drinking.
You're also having some fine red wine. Excellent.
I will study the charter and see if there's any legal loopholes where we've missed that, or that they get to keep the treasure that we find in the jungle or anything along those lines.
Give me an investigation check.
It's quite smart.
This is a real strong score. That's a 12. You're a saint, Max. Thank you.
Yeah.
Not sorry about your weight.
No, don't worry, too. You were busy.
You couldn't see how many people quit the bar.
Oh no, we could.
So. You find that if when you are done with your expeditions in Chult, the Flaming Fist require you to give 50% of your earnings to them. But you will be reimbursed the 50 gold you paid for it. So if
Saying what, sorry?
So the Charter of Exploration we've just discovered says that once you leave Schultz and finish your explorations, 50% of your earnings have to go to the Flaming Fist.
Well,
That's not happening.
I will go up to the party about to make merry and say, I've been reading through the contract and we might not be as profitable as in this venture as we think if we go back to this island. They want 50% of what we find in the jungle, which I am not keen to do. I say as soon as we're done, we hop on a ship to Waterdeep and get the hell out of here with what we've got.
Could we lie about how much we burned?
No.
Research.
Well,
how do you know?
I come here with lots of riches.
There are military, they will search us.
I came
they
here
will
with lots of riches
interrogate
already.
for-
I only earned 10 gold.
This is what I brought with me.
Yes.
They're the Flaming Fist, they'll just take what you have anyway. Call it a tax. I say we just get on a ship and get out of here.
Well, we could just kill them. I like
You
this
can't kill Boulders
Keaton was. Y'all understand that's a military operation, right? That's like nearly 100 people.
I snarl and go.
So, let's start
I was
now.
gonna say, I feel like 100. Like, that's a lot.
They won't see us coming. We'll start now.
Well, I will announce now, as
Yes.
soon as we
I
reach
have-
back to the port, you guys can report back to the Flaming Fist, but I will be going back to Waterdeep with my share.
I just don't see the point of reporting back.
Exactly, we should. I'm with Magmund here, I can't believe I'm saying it, but we shall just go.
And if they come to find us, then we kill them. Yes?
Oh yes, do it, we'll go on, but we
How
can
big
leave
is your brother
first.
in a fight?
Not very.
That's how
You were
life
paying
is.
attention.
Or we could look for the
My
airship
brother is a tacticianist,
And what have you
not a
what have you
fighter.
said to him then?
close to the end. We could look for the
Because
airship.
he's not a fighter, he needs safe.
And then fly away.
But you're not here. You're not here to save him.
That's why
You've
I'm
all,
here.
you've all got a common goal, which is to find and destroy the
My
Soulmonger.
mission value is being screwed.
You've all got to find.
What's in this one?
You all have to find and destroy the Soulmonger, but everyone else has got like a little thing that they're
Side quest.
trying to do.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, let's
Just the one side.
just kill him.
On that particular day.
Alright, where's the River Mist and
So River Mist, Flask of Wine, Quasha and Cooper Louie are all back in Port Nyanzaru where you'll meet them, and then you can either start your expedition today or you can start your expedition tomorrow. I have an assumption as to when you're going to be starting your expedition.
should we just head back to Port
Oh, but this is like the first
and just
bit.
get going straight away?
There is one thing I want to pick
We're
up.
gonna be getting back in the afternoon.
Yeah, but
So
we
is
can
it-
always rest on the ship. So as soon as we set sail,
So I'm going to be, as soon as I've had one
Once we get back to the port, just let us know so I can pick one thing up before we leave.
Yeah, of course.
Sweet.
So after a fairly uneventful journey back, you start to come back towards Port Nyanzaru, kind of entering through the Bay of Chult, getting towards that area where you saw Amorag, the dragon turtle.
did we have a picture of it?
I gave you one.
We did have
Yeah, there was one.
Oh, yeah, because I've got an image in my head,
It's
and I was
just a
like, I don't
giant
know if I've
snapping
just made
turtle.
that up. Yeah, yeah. I was just wondering, like, did I make this up, or was there actually a visual?
I have some turtles.
I think they were imagining the giant turtle from the Neverending Story. That would be great.
I kind of now want to do a campaign that's just all the characters are turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I actually have
Four
Raffi.
turtle monks. What? 4 turtle monks.
Monks, yes. I actually have those. There's some of them in that box.
Incredible.
Neverending.
There's Rappy. That'll get story soon. There's Michelangelo. There's Donald or something like that. And then there's Leonardo or something.
So you go past where you saw Amorag. Oh, by the way, there's a dragon turtle for scale there as well. Don't look at the back of that card. First thing she fucking does. Is look at the back of the fucking card.
I know what it says. I know what it says. So it doesn't matter. Look all you like. It says you're fucked. That's what it says.
Giant fucking
Lots of
turtle.
words. It's like the most aggressive.
Yeah, it's like a big massive
Do not
beak
fight
with
this
teeth in
bitch.
it.
Serrated
It's a
gun.
campaign.
They also have that. They also have turtle. Oh, the turtle
touch.
touch. I don't know the turtle touch.
They've got a serrated gun.
Yeah.
Will attack anything that goes near it. And I'm like,
I want to.
so yeah, so we just get away from that.
Tell you what's
probably.
fucking terrifying. Have you seen the inside of a penguin?
Oh yeah. Anyway, you go past where Amarag lives. He does not attack your boat. No pirates assail you, and you start to arrive back into through the Bay of Chorlton. You start to arrive in Port Nyanzara once again. The smells of spices, the sound of creaking boards and ropes come back, and that kind of chatter of the entire city roars back into your perception again. It's kind of late afternoon. You all disembark the boat, and Erky Timbers says, "Well, it was a pleasure meeting y'all. If you ever need a lift anywhere else, and if you need help hiding that treasure, I can help with that."
What treasure?
He's a clever big man, giant
Grab
fella.
his arm and like shake his arm and
Like a Terminator.
I'm not dry. Like he's obviously he's so pissed.
Weird
but,
music
like,
just
I'm
comes
fine.
He goes to do it and he misses. It's like, oh yeah, well.
Oh no, I'm thinking more like Predator actually. You know where they go.
I meant Predator, not Terminator. Yeah. It's because it's Arnie, so I just had
They
Terminator.
shake elbows rather than hands.
You son of a bitch!
Get to the job.
Well, Captain, it's certainly been educational. I look forward to seeing your work in the future. These homunculuses are impressive.
Thank you. You see all the homunculi seem to be swaying
I
a
was
little.
gonna say, as they all put.
We all be seeing you.
So, you're back in the port. Last things you want to do, so you'll need to pick up your guides and then ask them about where you need to think about what way you're going to go into the jungle, be it by river or by just straight in. Think about what your destination is. I don't know if everyone's got their notes or if they need a little reminder. And you want to pick something up, I think.
I want to go to the nearest tobacco store.
Okay.
Is it Orlando?
So, you had...
Oh, we're going to speak to Orlando.
Yeah, so Tom's character Weaver, whilst you were walking through the streets, somebody clutched on his clothes and they said, "Speak to the wise guardian of Oralunga, east of Umbala.
That's where we're going.
She can guide you to that which you see." Sorry?
Change that to Umbongo.
Umbongo.
Bongo. East of Umbongo. You know, in the jungle. You ruined the joke, but yeah.
Oh,
I was about to say that. I was saying the lines of the song.
Go home, Chloe.
okay, bye.
Oh, also, you were asked if you could find a shield guardian called Vaughn.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember everything I've given you. Somewhere called Yelgark is where your brother is. So there's lots of different places that you need to look for. But I believe you were saying you were going to Oralunga.
Yep.
See if you can find something along there. You want to go to a tobacconist.
Yep. How much tobacco can you get for 10 gold?
For 10 gold.
And papers.
Do you use filters or do you just...
They don't, so the tobacconist doesn't sell papers, but they do sell pipes.
I'll have a pipe then.
You get a pipe.
I'll have a pipe.
Weaver likes his rollies. They remind him of home.
5 gold. It's hard to get tobacco here.
I mean, he's got his magic spell, but that's a risk to the world every time he casts it.
I love bartender hearing.
Let's say
Jody getting upset.
Yeah, I kind of want to go to the
so you can get for 10 gold. 10 gold's a lot of money. But the pipe that you can get is 2 gold, so that's 8 gold for tobacco. That can get you basically like 100 days of tobacco.
Nice.
the brunch.
So you have enough tobacco to last you hopefully the majority of this expedition.
Yeah.
Cool.
Depends how stressed you get.
So a couple of bookkeeping things. Has everyone got?
Sorry.
Has everyone got track of their rations?
Yes.
Yes.
So you know how many rations, because that's going to be relevant.
I think I got like 30 days worth.
Cool. Magmon, you have Jungle Princess with a barrel of water and a barrel of jerky. Yeah, right. And you got how much that was? I think I wrote it. Did we say it was about 70 portions?
Something like that, yeah.
Could I buy 10 more days worth of rations?
You absolutely can. the kind of thing I should just know.
Oh, I've only got 23 days of rations.
It's 5 silver pieces for a day's rations.
Cool.
Yeah, but you're not a nerd, are you? When you remember
This is
all
true,
that stuff.
exactly.
So 50 silver pieces.
Yeah, take that, Niall.
What's that in
Oh,
gold?
bollocks.
It's quite easy. It's
Oh,
10
is it
copper,
just 10%?
10 copper to a
Going
silver,
down.
10 silver to a gold,
Oh, okay.
10 gold to a platinum.
Okay.
Then beyond that, people usually trade in
It would
diamonds.
totally be wrong to order from the Harrogate Cookie Company, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So getting to ring to the fire.
No. Not allowed cookies. Cookies are bad and foul.
We've briefly lost 50% of the table. Whilst they're doing that, what do you guys want to do in the city? Is there anything you want to get, or have you kind of done all your shopping? You're ready to head into the jungle?
I think I've got pretty much everything. I already have most of the stuff that I wanted. I think it was just the stuff for the dinosaur. I'm literally as much time as possible spending bonding with the dinosaur.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, give me an animal handling check.
What's my dice?
What dice did you draw?
So do I have my totem?
One.
Sorry?
Do I have my...
It's a
Yeah.
yellow
So
one.
what we'll say, because you're full level already, you already can have it. So just say you have your total. But then when it comes in again,
I don't think I have to use it or anything. I think
no,
it's
it's
just...
something
somewhat
because it's quite being as a barbarian, for you is quite a spiritual process. So like part of your kind of binding yourself to this token from the actual. So like I know you can have like for example because you get more as you go along. You could have if you want like necklaces of several different creatures.
Okay.
You don't have to kill it there either. It could have been like a piece of interaction where you like took a clipping or something.
Right?
But hence the shape there.
Yes, which I've seen.
Get out from under the table and
You're all
talk.
red face.
It's fine.
Look, right there.
That one fucking blinded in.
Yeah, that really did. That was awkward.
Thank you. I mean, I don't know. It's
He dropped a dice.
So I got a 16.
16 once again. So this dinosaur hasn't enjoyed its boat journey, but is a tame dinosaur at least. So you're not dealing with a wild dinosaur. She is warming to you. She trusts you at least to feed her and stuff like that. She hasn't tried to bite you.
Yeah.
Eventually, she will love me.
She is tame, but by no means is she domesticated.
I don't think I really want to domesticate because the way that I would think of her more of a working dog than a pet. If you see what I mean.
Not fully domesticated, it's just a bit obedient.
Train.
Yeah, you know, like a girlfriend.
I haven't got a train yet.
That's what I mean. Not obedient, but
Gross.
will do certain stuff. Responds well to certain stimuli.
I just want her to iron my shirt. Just one
No,
shirt.
don't.
Ah, your own
Really
damn
want
shirt.
to. Also, the kids at my nursery made you a card. All the writing in there is shit that they said when I asked them what do you want to say to Tommy.
I'm kind of worried what they say.
I was just like,
The one about the boat is a bit weird.
I was going to say, bring a bone. No, I don't want to end up on the register.
I like how above that, like, the
Where's-
first thing they said was, I am
I think we're going to get a drink, I'm not sure.
and it was, bring a boat.
One of the kids call me Shrek.
No, that was just that kid that's obsessed with Shrek. I didn't quite get what I was asking him.
So, anything else we want to do, or you just meeting up with the guides?
That's it.
Yeah,
for
just
me.
waiting for the guys. Yeah.
So you go back to the Thundering Lizard, which was the tavern where you met them. They seem to have just kind of arrived themselves as they see you. You see Quasha is standing there with the druids and the two tabaxis, River Mist, flask of wine, and then sitting next to Quasha is the veggie pygmy named Koopa Louie. Quasha stands up and goes, "Hello, my friends. Are we ready to depart? Do you have a plan of action? Where do we want to go?"
Oh, I think we're ready to go now. Just let me give this to the bartender and then I'm ready to go. I'm going to hand the bartender a letter to say, send to Waterdeep. I'll give him 5 silver, whatever it says. And it says letter to BS. Hopefully they'll know who that is.
Okay, let's go to the rest of the bullshitting.
Yeah.
I was
I was
going
going
to
to say,
You can tell me the content of the letter if you want later. He goes, "Thank you, I can take this to the Armor Master who deal with that."
Wonderful, thank you.
Puts it underneath the bar, takes the 5 silver. Quasha turns to you all and says, "So, where are we to go? Where is the plan? Where is
Have we got River Mist and Flask of Wine?
Yeah.
Yes, they stand up and they bow once again. She goes, "Hello, my name is River Mist, and this is my brother, Flask of Wine." Flask of Wine. As he bows.
I think I've got my favourite apples.
Quasha,
We were heading to Ouir younger. There was a lead there.
Orelonga, the city of Orelonga, the old abandoned city.
Yes, the Guardian. We need to speak to her.
Well, I did not know where it was, but I believe you said it is east of
Kind of creepy voice there.
It is east of Mbala, so if we edge to Mbala, I think that works.
I believe she can show us the way.
This is the way.
Someone says Mbala. Cool. So you're heading off. He goes, yes, well, we can go to Orelonga. If we go to Mbala, there's a couple of ways we can go. We can either head straight through the jungle, or we can take the river. So if we go down the river Shoshan Star, we will come, if we will head all the way down to the Aldani Basin. Once we arrive in the Aldani Basin, Mbala looks over that kind of area. We head to Mbala, see if we can, and climb up there. It's an old abandoned city. See if we can find Orelonga from there.
I was a bit pissed when we went shopping. Stuff. Did you buy a canoe that day?
You did not buy a canoe, no.
Oh, that was my imagination. We shall go through the woods. Unless we can rent a canoe.
What?
We had talked.
Sorry?
I got a canoe.
Did you buy a canoe?
Yeah, super.
Oh, you have one canoe.
I thought I bought a canoe.
Did you buy canoes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
know you
each
could
bought one. Yeah. No, I remember that was
Apologies.
You're a special canoe like the one that Michael had in the campaign there.
It's not, yeah, you don't have an expanding boat, I'm afraid.
It was such a good canoe.
It's a nice try though.
Each
Killed
canoe,
loads of people with it. It was amazing.
each canoe can hold 6 medium creatures. And there are 6, 7, there's 11 of you. You 6, 4 guides, Jungle Princess.
She's going in my canoe.
Yeah, I'm going in a different canoe.
The River Shoshan Star is considerably quicker. We will get there quicker. There's very little downside, I guess, to the river, except camping nearby means that if there is a flood, we will be in trouble, I suppose. But,
Apparently, speed is of the essence, so
Excellent.
river it is.
Yeah. Do we need to grab more canoes?
no, you've got 2 canoes, so you can carry 12 canoes. You can carry 12 medium creatures, and there are 11 medium creatures. The 6 of you,
Okay.
the 4 guides, and Jungle Princess.
Don't we class as large? No,
medium.
Are we still medium?
You're medium.
Okay.
You're counted as large for carrying shit, but you're medium otherwise.
So, and we're heading down the river to Aldani.
Yeah, so you're going to head down the River Shoshan Star,
Okay.
which finishes in the Aldani Basin,
Okay.
and from the Aldani Basin, you can head towards the old city of Mbala. And from Mbala, because it's on a high plateau, Quasha hopes that you will be able to find Orelonga from there.
Can I ask the guides how long the journey is to the Aldani Basin?
You certainly can.
Gotta make that ass grooves. Perfect.
So relatable.
So, all being well, if you travel at a normal
Needs to get a little
pace,
grey wig.
it should take you 10 days.
Okay.
That's if you don't get lost.
Okay.
So Quasha will say when you're on the river, when you are on the rivers, it's not like a normal river. They run very slowly, and you can actually get lost because the tributaries at some points look very similar to the main river. So it is actually possible to get lost whilst you're on the river. But if you don't get lost, then it should take you about 10 days. And after 10 days, you should arrive at the Aldani Basin, and then from there, it's more a case of trying to find your way to.
No?
He advises you as well
Yeah.
Okay.
that the journey's going to go past a couple of.
Saturday.
River Mist, one of the tabaxis, says, I have been into the jungle fairly recently, and I have heard rumours. Someone from your part of the world, not the Flaming Fist, the other one, Order of the Gauntlet, they are camping in the jungle. We are going to go past one of their failed camps on the way, and then one of their successful camps, so we might be able to find help along the way. Along the way.
Might be history or knowledge check, see if I can work, see if they're like a corrupt order
You
or.
can. Sorry, you had a question, Magmon.
I was just going to ask you if they know anything of the Order of the Yellow.
Yeah, if you want to give me a history check, anyone wants to know if they know anything about the Order of the Gauntlet.
16, 12.
What's a failed camp? Looks like a fire didn't start.
They got attacked.
Gone past it.
So the
18.
18. So I'll give you a second. The Order of the Gauntlet is a organisation of paladins, fighters, do-gooders, clerics, like the religious warrior type, that strive to do good in the light of day. They kind of want to be seen as the ones that.
Slap people in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Like vanquishers of evil. Not sure why they're here, but they have basically the Order of the Gauntlet have been here. They have a failed camp. The Tabaxi River Mist will explain to you. She says, you see there's quite a lot of them. There's a big group. They tried to make a fort by the river. As far as I know, they got overwhelmed and attacked and abandoned their original camp, and then they moved to their new camp.
Okay. Cool.
And we are going to, it's not on the map, is it? No. We're going to encounter probably both of those as they are along the river Shoshin Star. But yes. So we are taking the river.
Yeah.
I believe. That's a
Excellent.
consensus.
Cooper Louie, the little kind of plant man, goes. And Quasha looks in and goes. He says, "Let's go." And then you set off out the tavern.
I'm going to leave the tavern in a very Lord of the Rings wizard Gandalf pose. Playing my own music. Dun, 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 dun. Whilst also trying to hold the staff.
I'm just holding my head.
There's a quote from behind the scenes of when they were filming
Slightly hungover, but also slightly embarrassed.
when they were filming the Battle of Helm's Deep. There was a quote where the guy that played Elijah Wood says to like the kind of art director, he said, it's quite a well-lit battle despite being a night, he goes, "Where's the lighting come from?" And the person who's in charge of light effects and sound effects smiled and said, "The same place the music is." The idea being that it doesn't really matter, people just have to sing. But in this instance, the music's coming directly from you.
There's also epic lighting coming by celestial form.
Absolutely.
It's just shining off Magman's armour just perfectly.
Absolutely. You have never looked in your dirty robes closer to Gandalf the White.
She's like, in my hungover state, I'm just going to throw up at his feet as he walks by.
The sharp reality of what this looks
Just
like.
look disappointed, stop the music, prestidigitation my shoes, and then walk forward and up. Bloody drunkards.
You start to make your way towards the mouth of River Shoshin Star. I assume, because you two have got the canoes, I assume you're kind of carrying them on your heads. I suppose there's a couple of people, like the guides will help you carry the boats as you get towards the river mouth. You go outside of the kind of like the main port, and you go kind of past the merchant district, past the main kind of port, and you go around to the edge where you get towards the mouth of the river, and you can see the jungles of Chult get very close very quickly. You can see that you're going to get on the river and you're very quickly going to be in the jungle. Nice. So, you all get in your boats. So, let me get an idea. Who's in what boat?
I want to go with Foster
I'm in my boat.
I'm going to go with
I like
Scotch
Foster Wine
Cross
whiskers and I have an
boats.
almost constant headache.
So, we have, in boat number 1, we have, let's say we have the Tabaxi, and then we have Anastriana. Who's with the Tabaxi and Anastriana? There's 3 more spaces.
Not what you've heard is too loud.
I think I'll avoid Magman this week after last week's altercation.
So I'm assuming it's Magmond and Jungle Princess.
No, I put Jungle Prince now. She didn't go in you.
She's swimming, that's fair. I've got a +4 for animal handling, so I'm going to...
Quasha and Cooper Louie will go in with you guys. So where's everyone else going? Scotch, where are you going?
Well, if that one's full, go in the other one.
There's room in both, so it's up to you.
Isn't Scotch? Wait, I thought Scotch had the second.
One of them's
Oh.
the other boat's
Yeah, but
boat.
there's just 2 boats. So it's which
Yeah.
do you want to? So do you want to be in different boats? I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
I mean,
go in
that
the
makes
one
sense.
with,
The Tabaxi, yeah.
the 2 slightly heavy hit.
with Weaver.
And then Weaver, you're going with Scotch. Cool.
Yeah.
And that means Quaffine, you're with Magmond.
Where is River Miss
rude that you went,
Flask of
oh.
Wine?
They are with Anastriana, Oriana, Scotch Broth, and Weaver.
Dinosaur.
Oh yes, okay. That's
Okay.
good. That's what it
That would
was.
slowly
I
make
feel like I should probably be in their boat just in case they try anything.
Cool.
funny.
You lay the boats
I just-
down.
yeah, I just
You lay the boats kind of into the river very gently, and you start to get in. Jungle Princess is reluctant to get into the boat. Can you give me an animal handling check?
Sure. Nope.
So you guys,
Well, you just roll
And then the 2 guys that I put.
an actual die. As if we
I was wondering what that's doing, that's all. But alright.
River Miss and Flask of Wine.
tabaxis.
Yeah,
Oh, so it's 3 tabaxis and there's 3.
3 tabaxis. No, 2 tabaxis. You
And it's a
tabaxis.
+2, I think. So
Okay,
15.
okay, yeah.
Oh.
And Tom.
15.
Tom, yeah.
She's kind of resisting against the muzzle, but you know what to do.
What's animal?
You take some of the food. It's a wisdom check. You take some of the food out of one of the barrels, feed it to her through a muzzle. She calms down, then she kind of gets into the boat, settles down very unhappily, kind of in the back of the boat.
Kind of like a cat in a cat box.
Yes.
Like not happy about getting in.
Not happy at all, but not kind of like scratching at the roof. She's kind of sat down. Awesome.
I love how athletic I am.
So
It makes sense. They're huge.
Your dad bod.
Yeah, that one.
I got +6 for acrobatics, but +2 for
It's like real life.
I got a
Surprising.
so there's some
I like jumpy and runny for someone.
couple of things. So you at the start of every day, a couple of things will happen. I will determine the weather. I will determine how far you've gone and if you've got lost. Also, if you've eaten and if you've drunk. Right. Now, the thing you need to decide is whether or not you want to go at a normal pace, a fast pace, or a slow
medium
pace.
Medium pace.
That's a normal pace is on this map. A normal pace is 1 hex a day. A fast pace is between 1 and 2 hexes a day, depending how lucky you are. And a slow pace is between 0 and 1 hexes a
What
day.
implications do they have on like sort of rest?
On rest, nothing.
Okay.
What they do mean is that your survival checks to navigate will be at disadvantage. Oh no, -5, and your passive perception score is also a -5. So things are more likely to be able to creep up on you. You also can't forage if you're going at a fast pace.
What's that medium?
What does what mean? The whole.
Medium.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
what,
what's the thing for medium? Like,
sorry, medium. I thought you said what does that mean? Normal pace is normal, so your passive perception is normal.
oh, it's just that.
It's just everything's normal.
Okay, cool.
So if we go slow, then we get advantages.
If you go slow, you get a +5 to survival checks. You can be stealthy, and yeah, that's it.
So it's all like if you go slow, you're being careful. You go at normal pace,
You're
normal, and then if you go fast,
I feel like we should start
you're more
off
likely
with
to
normal
trip.
pace.
Yeah, I say we go normal and then if we're hurt, start going slow.
We're not expecting any trouble because like no one, as far as we know, no one knows what coming.
We don't want to run into danger.
Well, the jungle is a dangerous place.
I mean, we've got time, and it's not that much.
Only one of us is trying to rescue a dead relative. So.
No, I know, but there's more speed, less haste. We're actually going
Oh
slow.
yeah, but only you were like, bothered about like quickly getting to save someone. Like everyone else will be like, right, let's take our time. And,
Yeah.
So like,
As a seasoned warrior, once you
you know, we're 21 dead.
so I need to get a check. Who's got? So everyone with water skins has got them full, right?
Yeah.
A couple of things. So
Ooh, does anyone have a clean water spout?
Container of water.
so
Didn't we get a big container of water?
you've got a barrel of water.
We've got a barrel of water and some rain catchers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at the end of every day, you have to have consumed 2 gallons of water.
She was like, I had a cup of tea.
4 pints.
How was that to the gallon?
How many pints would you have?
I don't know. I never measured anything in gallons before.
I don't know,
I'm googling it.
but 11 gallons, I do, is 88 pounds.
2 gallons is 20 pints.
And 2 gallons a day?
2 gallons a day.
I don't drink that.
So this is 2 gallons a day because you're trekking in the jungle.
How many pints is that?
I've absolutely no idea.
That's
Because the
nearly
water
20
skins are in.
pints.
Nearly 20 pints.
It's 19.2 pints.
There you go.
So that's
I like that. Yeah.
How many pints in a water skin again?
like 4. So it's
So
like
that's
10
5
water skins a day.
Yeah, that's 5 water skins a day.
5 water
Hang
skins
on,
a
how
day.
much you know?
4 pints. That's why I said about.
That doesn't sound right. We're going to run out of water like
A
that.
water skin can hold 4 pints of liquid.
Yeah.
Maybe in day one.
What we
they're
could do
a
with is we could
big
really
guy.
do with a DM that's a bit of a nerd and knows this stuff off his own.
No, because it is 2 gallons.
No, I know you're right. It is crazy.
That is
Maybe like 1 or 2.
2.
May I?
Oh, yeah, of course, sorry. Like, they
That's
are,
anyone
they
care.
are full of everyone.
The
No, they're not.
opposite.
They're for vegans. It says specifically.
Yeah, okay, no, that is cooked.
They're for
Because
vegans.
that's 9,000 litres.
Yeah.
That can't
Not
be
just
right.
for vegans.
I need 9,000 litres of water a
You
day.
have so little food.
It's vegan.
They are yours.
I must drown in order to survive.
They're a nice vegan
You're
tribe.
the guy at the party who doesn't eat all the things.
Sorry about this, folks. We need to work out
What are you
mathematics.
doing?
Yeah, Paro juice.
The vegans, they're adequately labelled.
This is
I
what
can eat
happens.
everything.
This is what happens when a game system uses an outdated
I will have
method.
10 of those, you can have everything else.
I'm just Hannah.
4 pints would make sense. It's like 1 water skin a day.
I have to assume it means 2 pints. I have to assume it means 2 pints.
No. So we get married.
Hi, Anna.
Hi.
I didn't know everyone were in here.
We're doing a high. Hello. I'm not infected. I got
I'm going to say it, you're infected after becoming your
Yeah, no, I got this.
Hi.
Hello.
She is closing.
No, wait, your character's cozy. No, it's cozy.
No, it's Cozy is my character for real.
I'm cozy in real life. I'm
Well, I had a character called Cozy for my water.
That was like, wait, someone's cozy.
I was wondering where you got that from.
Look at Morgan's face. Look at Museus. So is it
It's just worked out we need to drink like
No, it
2
can't.
gallon.
That'd be
No,
ridiculous.
because it's also in the book as well. So, like,
we all have 8
it's not.
And that's per day. We need to drink 5 of those per day.
Each player.
I've dealt with
At
it
the end of
before.
each
you've
day,
got one
each character who hasn't drunk at least
Yeah.
2 gallons
That's
of
a
fresh
river.
water.
And rain.
Yes, but it's not
all
clean
that's
from
from
where
water skins a
we
day.
prefer clean.
You want even kid?
I'm gonna admit.
That's
Most of these guys don't even carry 5 water skins.
Does it rain on the first?
My
Is
character.
it
like
like
two seasons?
How many gallons can they fit in the rain catcher?
Oh.
I feel like this is far too much math.
Because I've only got one water skin.
I bought 2 extra.
Well, you can make it half a day.
Oh my god. Where was Decker finally got around to
Just
me?
over half a day.
And they pop like what's it?
I wouldn't use it.
This is that character for the alternative.
I mean, I've drank nowhere near that much.
Hang on.
Between 13 I was like, not on your whole lot.
Ah, okay. Americans have their own gallon.
Of course they do.
Fucking Americans. Late for every word.
But we were using American
And then
gallons
claim
or
they
UK
bought it.
gallons.
So the US gallon is 4.5 litres.
Okay.
So it's considerably less.
yeah.
That is how much you. No, that's fine then. You do need 2 gallons of water a day.
How many litres? What was it?
How many pints in 2 gallons?
I don't give a fuck about these. How many water skins is
How
that?
many water skins is it? Yes.
Do it in the
What? How many?
Can we just use 2
Four.
water skins?
Sorry, how many? This is 4 pints. US gallon to US. What's it called? Pint.
Time.
What happens to the
8
nerd that was here on
pints.
Saturday?
So
Friday?
2 water skins.
2 water
2 water skins a day.
Right.
How
They
many
could have just said
water
that.
skins are there in the barrel?
So should we just say 8 pints a
In
day?
my barrel. Plenty.
I mean, okay.
You're on a different boat.
So I just need to.
That's
I just
true.
need to make sure I refill my water skins.
Hey, I'm on this boat. Woo!
We are wealthy in adventurer wealth.
See, I looked all this over there, and when I googled how many pints in a gallon, it just came up normal. When I tried it this time, I was like 9,000. I was like, no, hang on, this isn't what you said before.
Oh, she's a
Cool.
sexy
So you
harassment.
need 2 water skins a day. If it is particularly hot. Oh, hang on. Can this thing fucking change it?
distinct change. No, I think it's
Love it. One place it says 2 gallons, one place it says 1 gallon. So,
It's 1 gallon.
1 gallon.
It's definitely 1 gallon.
I think it's
I think
1 gallon.
2 would make sense if we were doing
gallon
it at
does
like
seem
a
like a
fast
lot.
pace, but because we're doing it at a normal pace, then 1 gallon.
no, so what it
At a
is.
medium pace.
We are just sat in a
So,
yeah.
okay.
How do you know that's not true?
To be fair, maybe if we were walking in the heat, it would be.
Got it. So, typically, you would need 1 gallon a day,
Yeah.
right? However, it is really fucking hot.
Okay.
So you need 2 gallons a day.
No.
Just today, though.
No, every day.
Just a day.
Well, you said it's really
The
hot.
jungle is
Every
hot.
day.
It's
Chunk's
okay.
just a
We're in
really
the
fucking
jungle.
hot
If
place.
you don't consume 2 gallons of water, which
You'll
is
dehydrate.
16
So what you're
pints,
saying, what you're saying is you should be drinking
16
one
pints.
water
Typically-
skin a day
yes.
in any
In
campaign.
a normal setting, you would be drinking 1 skin a day.
Well, I had no idea.
That's fine. In this setting, it's 2 water skins a day.
Right.
It's, if you think it in normal, you would normally just drink it, but because we're in the jungle, it's something that we need to pay attention. It's part
Yeah,
of the.
Because 8 pints is 4 litres.
Yeah. When you think usually it'd be 1 gallon.
So
a
how
day, I
many
thought
is
you
in your
could
water
do
skins, if you remind me?
It's 4 pints in each
4
water
pints.
skin,
So you need 2 water skins. No? Oh, you need 2 water skins normally. You need 4 water skins a day.
Let you guys.
So how are we going to do that?
Pretty.
So,
You guys go this side.
so
Oh, well.
you can drink the water from the river.
Yeah.
You can ask the guides on their advice for that as well.
Oh.
Should be
Can I ask, River Mist, do you have any way to clean the water from the river to drink?
Yes, do not drink the river water without boiling it first. Otherwise, you will get what do they call the neck worms? Are they called neck worms, River Mist? Sorry, flask of wine.
Do you have any way to keep the water exhausted?
Do you have a pan and a fire?
I've got a chef's kit.
I have a tinder box.
I've got a big
Mess
pan.
kit. What's in a mess kit?
Mess kit will have a mess tin.
Yeah, so it's like kitchen stuff.
Oh, I have a cooking pan, yeah.
But I have a 2-person tent.
If you drink Quasha will correct you because it is they are called throat leeches. If you drink the
Oh,
water
that's
raw,
nice.
you will get throat leeches.
Throat leeches.
So I can stop 4 times a day to boil some water.
So it's you can do it. You can do it to the end of the day. So
I only have 1 water skin to store it in.
yes, you have to be near water, I guess. Fill it up, put it in the pan, boil it.
Also, I can keep it in the pan and just drink it from the pan.
Sorry.
So I can just keep it in the pan and just drink it from the pan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quasha also says, do not fall in the water. That's also a good way to get throat leeches.
And
So
dysentery.
be very careful of the water items.
Oh, have you got your insect repellent as well?
Ah, yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I have over 40.
make sure you apply insect repellent.
40 days ago. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, after all that housekeeping, so yeah, you need a lot of water. Basically, at the end of every long rest, we will see if you've been able to get enough water. If you have, fine. If you haven't,
Discover for the long rest, are we like camping on the shore and then sorting it on water and then going to sleep?
so what we'll do is once we finish your day's travel, and then we'll
Then we'll
rest.
do all that stuff.
So that's kind of like end of day housekeeping. So we're like, right, have you been able to cross off stuff you've eaten, cross off stuff you've drunk, because you've actually got a barrel full of clean water,
So you can use the clean water throughout.
and then refill.
Refill at the end of the
Yeah.
day. So just sit there going, boil, splash, boil, splash.
Okay.
So we wouldn't actually do it all the time. It would be.
So you have actually got a good
Before
supply
you
of
go to
water.
bed, yeah.
That was a good purchase. You've got like a good amount of water.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't metagame.
You have
You're just very
to
clever.
make basically if you do not drink enough water, you have to make a Constitution saving throw, which is a disadvantage if you're wearing medium or heavy armor. And there's a certain amount of time you can last before you are starving without food and you start taking exhaustion. So, but
I'm fucking exhaustion.
yeah, exhaustion's bad.
Flashbacks to Husband Day.
Fucking. Oh! I was the least
But we can, like,
athletic,
things
dexterous lion
You can
ever
forage, yeah,
in that
absolutely.
fucking campaign.
Which
And
you
then I
kind of
lost
will
my
want the
tail.
guides to do because
You send them off to do that. So maybe while we're setting out water, we have them people at the
It's alright, I had wings, which got frozen to death.
so you've hired these guides. Obviously, remember to use
Because
them.
of this.
They'll help you survive. They'll help you find things. They'll help you. They've got tips. You can ask them stuff. Scrotch also has some knowledge of the jungle as well. So I've given Scrotch a list of stuff that he might remember as it goes
Go to
along.
the jungle.
Am I knowledgeable, not on this jungle, but am I knowledgeable on jungles in particular because of my background? But
Not necessarily. You've been tomb raiding, but not necessarily jungle tomb
No,
raiding.
okay, cool. But I'm fine when it comes to the heat though. I thrive in the heat, I know.
Yeah, so you actually won't. Yeah, you. What is it? You have something specific to do with you. Like people with heat resistance are pretty good against being exhausted. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
just gonna get
won't
some
get.
water.
Do I not get dehydrated?
Got enough now.
I'll double check that. It's probably not become relevant for a while, but I will
Yeah,
double check
I'll
that.
check my fixes and traits. When you get some water, will you get these money?
You want?
No, I'm fine for now. It's just for later.
I thought you were getting water.
Oh, if you go quickly as well, and you don't have enough water, you're more likely to get fucked over by that as well.
Well, we're going to go medium speed, aren't we, to start off with?
Yeah.
It's intention not to get any more beer. No, I'm not.
Cool. So
I'm not worried.
you set off into the jungles of Schultz.
Well, you can't drink.
Yeah, but you came in the wrong car.
Yeah, she can't drive my car.
You get in your canoes. So basically, one person has to row the canoe, and you've got one oar, so you're kind of like pushing it down the river.
I mean, who's going to row the canoes? Are we going to get
Two
the
row
guys
the
to do it?
Say the owners of the canoe.
It's our canoes.
Yeah, it is.
No, the our canoes. We're
No,
going to be
but also,
rowing.
like, I'm a fucking Goliath, so it makes sense. So
And
like,
you're a bit of a stacked
yeah, he's a big tabaxi, so it makes sense for us to be like, because otherwise, like,
You
one
guys could
votes.
probably just like,
Morgan.
can I talk fresh?
Can you imagine if you would do it as a tiny teeth thing? It's just
I'm
like, how
taking
does it-
inspiration by
I'm an elf.
describing the
Oh, you're
science
the
of
teacher.
rowing
Yeah.
to
I
you.
take that back.
That's
I
why
apologize.
she's getting
He's not making a check at the minute.
It's because
but-
you're doing the teeth and the accent.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to do Russian.
But for
it's coming
later
up
then.
French. What part that is?
Yeah, I mean, you can give that so the guides will be helping to
the accent
navigate.
most, like, most
So
accents do.
you can give it to them when
Kind
they're
of
trying to find their way
lost
through the
the-
jungle if you
yeah.
want.
Like shit.
Is it an extra d6 for the roll?
Yes.
I'll remember that. So if you want, do you want to expend that every day, and they'll do that for their survival, I guess.
Yes.
Wait, you don't work here?
I'm going to say that I'm putting on the Russian accent because I want to distance myself from my family, but they're actually French aristocrats, and that's why I sound French most of the time. I'm trying to put on a Russian accent.
It's like when Matt does an accent for an NPC. It's like, where exactly are you from? Because you started with Germany, and then it moved to
Well,
French,
technically,
Italian,
it's a
and
totally
now it's a
different
bit
world.
Russian.
So,
Right?
yeah. I'm using a made-up accent.
Could
It's
be
not,
a Baldur's Gate accent.
yeah, exactly. You know what it sounds like a Baldur's Gate accent there.
So you are rolling throughout the day.
You see me rolling, ding.
Gotta get me rolling. See, I was gonna go with rolling.
Just keep on rolling. Need some Limp Bizkit, Carrie.
I know. Oh yeah. Okay.
Some Tina Turner.
Tina Turner. Rolling down the river. That's flashbacks to Saturday because it was a Tina Turner impressionist.
Oh.
They made me wear a Tina Turner wig the entire night.
Made you? Or let you?
Why did I not see pictures of this?
Yes, why have we not all seen pictures of this? Why was this not
I'm not
posted?
stupid.
destroyed
I didn't take
it.
any pictures of me.
Who's got the highest passive perception here?
Me.
Me.
It should be
I
the
don't
road,
know that.
I imagine.
Wait, I don't know where to find that.
It's on the screen.
It's 14.
Is it
Mine's
just
14.
perception?
Passive
Passive
perception.
It's
Mine's
not in that
14.
screen at all.
Oh. Yeah, mine's 14.
Passive wisdom perception. That
Yeah.
12. Definitely not
16.
me.
No, it's not me.
I'm 16 kids.
16. That sounds like the highest.
Well, that's upsetting. 11.
Ah, you have it. And it's like so not
You're the lowest.
Paladin.
I'm like the only one that didn't say me.
I knew it wasn't me, so I just
I was like, 14. Is it?
Any efficiency in it?
I had good dog vibes. I was like, am I a good boy? Am I a good boy?
What was that TikTok that attacked us this morning?
You're looking forward to
Oh, do I have a praise king or is the bar? My previous boyfriend has been so
I'm
low
surprised.
that the bar is just.
Well, I texted him one last time
I was
on
like-
gym to
Were
this.
you here when I was got my drink last night?
Yeah, no, that bar. Saturday's going to be
No,
awkward.
no, Alan barred me and I was at the door making sure I didn't come in.
Interesting choice. It's the dog.
I mean, oh.
I was like, no, Alan says you're barred. I was like, why?
Do we need
Why are you getting involved?
Because you made a small dick
The
Wait.
trailer I sent this evening.
Oh, yeah,
the new
passive
magic
wisdom,
set.
perception.
No.
Yeah?
You'll fucking
Yeah.
love it
Yeah.
because it's the whole
Yeah,
vampire
fiction.
wedding lark. It looks beautiful.
I do need to watch it.
It only got released today, so
Was it?
the magic trailer for this set is all like a CGI vampire wedding, and it
Will you
looks
take
beautifully done.
anything other than magic?
So,
D&D, pornography, well,
You don't talk about pornography, you just watch it.
so
and right.
as you're canoeing along,
I didn't like this.
He has a review blog.
Wasn't realistic, and he never fixed the microwave.
you're canoeing along,
Microwave's an interesting choice.
and a couple of things happen.
We're having loads of fun on our boat, and you're just standing. You're like,
I want to talk to Flask of Wine while we're sailing.
Yeah, what do you want to say to Flask of Wine?
Tell me more about yourself, Flask of Wine.
I've forgotten which number I'm doing.
Well, I have lived in Chult all my life. Spent a lot of the time in the jungles and in the city, making trouble for
If I'm doing
myself.
one number and you're doing different.
Me and my brother, we are inseparable.
Yes.
You see, he kind of leans over her shoulder.
No, I'm talking to Flask of Wine, not River.
Oh, you're talking to Flask of
Yeah.
Wine? Oh, apologies.
I want to ask
Apologies.
Flask of Wine about himself.
You asked about Flask of Wine. You speak
I
to
thought
Flask
he
of
was
Wine.
talking quite a
You speak to
lot.
Flask of Wine. You speak to Flask of Wine. Looks at River Mist. And River Mist goes, my brother doesn't like to speak very much. Speak very much.
I like that. I respect that in a person, in an individual.
In
Looking
fact,
for in a mate.
Everything I'm looking for. Hi.
I feel that's some
Are you
passive
single,
aggressive stuff
Flask of
going on.
Wine?
Flask of Wine. No.
Have you started on the wrong
Okay,
side?
noted.
He says, she goes, he is, River Mist chuckles and says, Flask of Wine is a cat of few words, but the words he says are often,
Few.
Quiet. They often
what is
softly
the word?
whisper.
Selective.
Quiet.
Yes, I like that. I like
Profound?
that in a man. I like that.
Flask of Wine goes to say something,
Yeah.
and then his ears prick.
Rude.
And he kind of points up to the side of the jungle. As he does that, Magmond, Quasha puts a hand on your shoulder. I hate to alarm you, but we need to go into the jungle. And he points over, and you see, kind of with its head behind the trees, you see what initially looks like a person, it's like a humanoid, but you see their eyes are blue. You see its
Is River
skin.
Mist also alerting me to this?
River Mist has pointed. You can look as well. You see, River Mist has pointed. You can see it's got pale flesh,
Is it a ghoul?
Oh.
and you
Okay.
can see it's kind of stripped. And it looks. You would absolutely know you are looking at a ghoul.
Can I shoot it? Like immediately? Because I would know that it's a ghoul.
I'll allow it, and then we'll go to initiative.
Okay.
Quasha says, "You all remember our deal?
Alright, David.
Yes.
Fight the ghouls."
I'm already shooting. Can I-
Yeah, roll to attack.
Oh, okay, so my longbow is a +9 to hit, so that makes a 26. Did I hit it?
Yeah, you fucking hit it.
That's D8.
No,
plus five.
you missed. It's
Which
a
one's-
ghoul.
which
It
one's
just
D8?
went straight through.
That's a D8, right?
Yes. Is it like a diamond?
It is like a diamond. That's a diamond in this diamond. I was going to the little star, but that, I work in motion.
Yeah.
So that's 8 damage to the ghoul immediately.
Do you get anything special for attacking your favourite enemy?
Is it my favourite enemy?
It's undead.
I think Undead was your favourite in the backstory.
I can't remember. Can I look up a second?
Well, if everyone can. Oh, hang on. How much damage did you do?
I did 8.
As you do that, you see three more ghouls poke their heads out from amongst the
14,
trees.
and then went 6.
So there are a total of 4 ghouls. If everyone can,
So ghoulies.
there are ghoulies. Yes. If everyone can roll initiative,
I rolled an 8.
the ghouls roll a 1.
Bitch, yes, ghoulies.
I think
Has anyone seen that they've made a new Critters movie?
Where's the initiative? Because like, you get pluses on this.
Yeah, you add to your dexterity.
I think if they were to do
Oh.
Okay.
wisdom and intelligence.
What? Well, 17.
Does anyone know what critters is?
Precious, I've heard of that.
It's like Gremlins, but more horror.
Ah, creature feature.
So they're from space
Yeah, I'm
and
not a
they're
massive
small.
fan of creature features.
Nums. So you people.
Nom, nom,
Basically
nom,
furry.
nom,
They're
nom.
basically aggressive hamsters.
Aggressive
They eat people. And what's his face? The one that got stuck on, died in the ocean when there was plenty of room on the
Titanic.
door.
Leonardo.
Thank you, Leonardo DiCaprio. Plenty of space on that door. I'm just saying. But he was in it. It was one of the first things he ever did.
Hang on.
He was terrible as long as everyone else. It's one of them sort of like B-movie style sort of chick things. But it's awesome.
I need to watch that. Is it on Netflix?
The new one is on Sky. I haven't checked it. If it's
I'll
on
have a look on it.
Cool. So initiative, you know the drill. Who got? Anyone get higher than 20?
May I try
I got a
with your
dirty
dessert?
20.
Anyone get higher than a dirty 20?
May I try? Either
Sorry,
delicious.
initiative.
Yep.
Yeah, I got an 18
May I try
plus
a
7.
vegan
So
steak?
25.
Can you pass number 1 to Strand? You got 25, please.
Yeah, I'm a
Right,
bit
did you
drunk
get-
to do maths.
Got
I'm gonna
learn to
read out
listen,
my dice.
Carrie.
Anyone get higher than 15?
Yeah, I got 17.
Anyone get higher than 17?
I got 17 as well.
Oh.
Who's got high dexterity?
Plus 4.
No, what's your score? Number? What's the?
15.
Oh, 18, sorry.
Mine's 15.
Did you hear me answer what my favourite answer?
No. Anyone get higher than 15?
I put this here.
Anyone get higher than 10?
Yes. No. Wait. 8. No.
Okay,
Eight
I'm
is not-
drunk. What's your excuse?
No one else got higher
I'm
than
old.
10?
I got 9.
So that's not higher than 10, is it?
I think that's Sheriff
Depends on where you
Murphy,
look,
David.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's
It's always lower than 10.
You
That's
never
how numbers work.
Well, if you're
What did you get? 9. Anyone get higher than 9?
my girlfriend is single.
Anyone get higher than 5?
I got 8.
Oh, they broke up.
Okay. 8 is 8.
Drink, 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 drink.
So,
Eights as mates.
there are 4 ghouls
Lucky nation.
in the jungle. You are currently in boats. So you need to either jump into the water to go to them, or need to wait until the people who are rowing the boats to row them, or you can do range attacks. You can just stay here and do pot shots if you like. You are first though.
Can I just shoot again? The same zombie?
Same ghoul?
Same
Yep,
ghoul.
absolutely.
Oh, no, I rolled another 17.
That is a hit.
Yeah.
The ghouls are kind of like, you can see they're starting to come towards
That
the
was a
water.
10 damage to the same ghouls.
Fuck yeah. You, quick as a bat. Two arrows, the ghoul goes down. You kill one ghoul, dead.
Okay, guys, steal some.
Who's second? Who's 2?
Me. I'm gonna say, look at you, you untanned devils. You'll never make it in civilized society. And I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery.
That is a 4. Which one am? So, there are 4 ghouls. One looks like a guy, like a human.
Yeah.
There is a chunky one that looks like it once was a dwarf. You can see kind of a more live one. Oh, not that wouldn't be the case. You can see a little halfling ghoul amongst them. And there was 2 humans and 1 human left. So you can choose a dwarf ghoul, a halfling ghoul, a human ghoul.
I'll go for the human ghoul, and it takes 1 damage. But it has disadvantage on its next attack.
Ow!
You see
It
the
doesn't
ghoul.
really understand the insult, that's the problem.
You see, the ghoul kind of looks at you going.
Like, I know he said something bad, but I don't know what it was. You just call me a dick.
Who's third?
How long would it take to... what's the distance between the boats and the...
It will take you your action to get to the water, to the bank.
Okay.
Like,
Is everybody happy that we get closer?
I would
But if you say that, Pasha says, that was part of the deal, get to the coast.
Okay.
oh, you know the heads, don't they?
Yeah,
These
to
guys
the
want to kill
Java.
every single, these guys want to kill every single fucking undead in this jungle. So he is like, get there.
Who the
You
fuck?
also want the
Wait,
heads.
Flash is not in his boat, so just to say.
Yeah, we've got River Mist.
Oh yeah, he says it anyway. If you
Shouts it.
if you turn back and say, should we go to the coast, he shouts at you to get over.
Alright,
I mean,
yeah,
I-
I'll row to the
I
right
can
side.
kill someone.
Cool, that is your action. Do you want to go into a rage as your bonus action, or are you not going into rage?
How many is there for?
There's 3 left.
3. Oh, one's dead.
Yeah, one just got fucking killed by Anastriana.
You did about 20 damage.
Like 6.
I did 15, I think. Oh, no, 18, I think.
18.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's getting quite late in the day. I'll rage.
You sound really great.
You get angry and you roll the poke.
Well, like the most angriest
Snap
person
the ore in
here.
half and
just with your paws. Just butterfly swimming.
You don't just jump into the water, you roll over, yeah?
yeah.
That
Taking
is
these guys over.
your turn. Fourth.
Me!
What are you doing?
Eldritch Blast!
Woohoo!
I've wanted to Eldritch Blast for so
So,
long.
you are in the other boat, so you're not there yet, but you've got the range, so go for it.
Yeah.
So, you're going for the human, the halfling, or the dwarf?
Okay. Okay. I mean, they still have the same hit. But yeah, good, whatever, mate.
I get the human.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aiming for the human.
Go for it.
You miss.
24.
That'll hit.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
1d10. 10.
No, you don't add anything to the damage, I think.
Yeah.
Or have you taken the invocation?
It says 1d4 plus 1d10 plus 4.
That's fine, perfect. No, you've taken the invocation, that's fine.
Force damage.
You blast the human, who's kind of like, you can see running towards these guys' boats as you get. You fire it, the human stumbles back and falls on its arse as you crack into it with your Eldritch Blast.
Is it dead?
No, it's still alive.
You're happy.
Well, it's a ghoul. Of course it is. It's basically a Karen.
Awesome. Then it is. Who's fifth? Me!
Damn it, Morgan.
Wait, what?
Quasher, who is not on the shore yet, can do very little. Quasher says some magical words, and he gets a ball of fire in his hand and launches it at one of the ghouls. That will hit.
Ooh.
The fire goes.
I like the arrow noise better.
He goes for the dwarf. The dwarf, again, the dwarf is this big, sturdy looking ghoul which is starting to run towards the water. Takes it to his chest, but doesn't really break his stride and keeps charging forward.
There are better ways to share.
Why are we
what
getting
you
bagpipes?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Tom? We've
Maybe I
what's
should have
going
sung
on?
that.
What's going on?
Listen to the song of my war people. The Celestials will come down from Mount Celestial and rule me. For freedom!
Cooper Louie.
They may take our lives, but they'll never take our boats.
Boats and hoes.
Bolts and holes.
Cooper Louie, you know how Groot can grow like twigs up his arm? He extends his arm till it becomes kind of like this loose kind of tree branch. Picks up he's got like a little pocket, pulls out a rock from his pocket, drops it in this like natural sling, swings his arm around and launches at the halfling.
That's sick.
Striking.
What is
the
he
half-
again?
He is a Vegapigman.
I'm going to be one of those next one.
I don't think that's
They're not a playable race, I'm afraid.
Like,
Tough.
Not yet, but they keep adding stuff.
Yeah. You can be a rabbit person now. Why can't you be a veggie picnic?
There's not enough requests for mold people, clearly.
I just want to be able to play
Yeah, there's not,
Bully
there's not much room for them in the campaign. Is there more people?
There you go.
You said mushroom, you didn't say
You just said mushroom and I was
You
like,
did say
Yeah.
mushroom.
You did say
I'll tell you
mushroom.
what, fuck off!
You're all bought.
But they should be because they're fun
I've got
guys.
actual customers now, piss off.
Alan, they should be because they're fun guys.
hey-o.
Dad jokes, I didn't use it.
You're allowed
The
to
Tabaxis both produce bows. Sorry, there's a lot of NPCs.
Work for children, and
The
that's
Tabaxis both produce bows. That's a crit and a hit.
That's a critical hit.
No, a crit and a hit. 4, 7, 10 points of damage. They strike the halfling, and you can see as the next one strikes the halfling's face, half of its head fucking comes off. So now there's this creature's like still lingering along. Yes, now he's a quarterling. He's looking pretty fucked up. That is their turn. 7.
Me? Yeah.
You are right up, I think. You're with them. Yeah, you can do melee attacks if you like.
Can I sneak attack?
No one left.
It says once per turn I can deal an extra
You'll do more
2d6
than one
damage to
damage,
one
though.
creature you hit with an attack.
So you have to be, an ally has to be within 5 feet of the enemy. I'm assuming you got out of the boat, right? And went towards one of the doors. So you can get next to the one that he's with and strike. So which one would you have got next to? Dwarf, halfling, or human? So you can get next to the dwarf one. You can do your sneak attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I sneak attack with my dual short swords?
Yes, you can do. Yeah, you can.
Yep. Sick.
I was trying to remember if you can, but yeah, you just won't do as much damage with the second short sword.
Yeah.
So that's 2 attacks.
Yeah. So do you want me to roll both attacks first and then damage?
Well, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, so that's 13 plus 6.
That's a
so,
hit. Roll again.
1 plus 6, 7.
No, one's miss every time.
Oh.
So your first attack hits. I assume you're doing a sneak attack with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I think third level. Is that 2d6? Or is it 1d6?
It just says 1d6 plus 4.
Yep. So no, your sneak attack damage.
Oh yeah, 2d6.
So you roll 3d6 add 4. Are you going for the dwarf?
This is my good luck
Yeah.
check now.
6.
He's like, yeah, that's why I
4,
said that.
so 10.
That's where I can get drunk.
Where the
14.
essence of the dead
Plus
DM.
4.
So 18.
You, as the boat curves onto the sand, Scotch jumps out and goes to rages above this pool. As Washer fires a firebolt into its chest, you run around the side, get your short sword, and decapitate the ghoul. It falls on the floor dead.
Fuck yeah.
I'm sorry.
Have you been TP'd?
Awesome
I've
stuff.
got a Grogu
I
in.
think it's your go now, dude.
8.
8.
I am going to,
Is it there?
as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on
Nice.
the.
You've got, there's a halfling and a human left.
Are they've both been hit now, haven't they?
How do they
Yeah.
look?
Is there any way of telling which one
Who looks the most?
They both look pretty fucked up.
Oh, okay. And then I'm going to throw a javelin at. Yeah, so I put it on the halfling.
Yeah.
And I will throw a javelin at also the halfling, because
Nice.
otherwise that would be weird. And I rolled a 21.
That'll hit.
And I hit him with 6 piercing damage and
We talk about how you've got real dice, but yet you're still rolling on the computer.
5 radiant damage.
That's 11 points of damage.
Oh, hang on, I pressed the wrong
What
thing.
is the radiant from the hunter? Where's the radiant from?
The radiance from the Hunter's Mark, sorry, and it was only 2. And it's just weapon type damage, so piercing. So it's a total of 8 piercing damage.
8 piercing damage to the halfling. You, from your boat, which is still in the water, you launch your javelin. Perhaps you say your magical words. Launch the javelin. This halfling's missing half its face. You spear it in the chest. It sticks in the ground. The halfling slides to the bottom of the ground.
Have my ball back, please.
There is one ghoul left.
Yeah, look, I've got this thing in you.
The ghouls haven't even had a fucking turn yet. But there is only one left.
You know what, I'm not my
I like the orange.
Tom, I don't want to box my goblin ox anymore.
Okay. I'll get you that blow up doll of Michael Jackson.
Mac, does it 16 hit?
Is that not just a blow up dot?
No.
Just
No.
the tabaxi.
As you see the last remaining ghoul, the human, runs up to you. In your rage, you see it. You duck behind your shield. You
Also, you
slam
should
your
really want Michael Jackson.
You don't have a shield. You just fucking tank it. The creature comes up to you, tries to bite, and as it does, you tense, and its teeth gets rebound. It's clawing and scratching and trying to get at you, but it's
Let's
unable
not
to
get
do
this
any
to
damage.
make them 3.
Back to the top.
I was like, wasn't the way I was.
Astriana.
Is it still
What are you
alive?
doing? What are you doing?
I'm attacking the one that's left, but I'm missing.
I had to double sleeve.
Well, to be fair, I rolled 2, I've got a plus 9, so that's 11.
11.
They made their cards like twice.
The arrow grazes so close to its face, you just miss it as it courses into the jungle.
I was like, oh, I got too excited.
Jungle Queen
That
goes.
was amazing.
Seconds.
No, not you, Jungle Queen.
Is there still 2 left?
Oh yeah, Jungle Princess is tied up on the boat. She can't do anything. She's not very happy. She's kind of looked up, very
She's in the
unaware
boat
of the
as the boat's
situation.
rocking up.
Yeah, I keep steadying the boat.
I'm still in the boat.
Who's second?
Oh, me, please.
She's not pterodactyl.
Weaver. It's
Yes.
Weaver.
Weaver.
I'm going to cast a dissonant whispers on it to just say, "You never passed college. Get a job."
Are you channeling your own?
Well, that's the thing with the dissonant whispers. It is partially me, partially Marge shouting at the
That is-
creature.
That is a wisdom save, right?
I know
That's a
that's a
16, I'm afraid.
16, so it takes half damage.
I also have functions mark. I really
3d6.
I didn't go to college. I own three businesses.
These are wise
Technically have less
Yeah, it's a
debt
wise
than
move.
most college
I went
people.
to university and I did a job I could have got straight as a GCSE.
That's 6 damage.
To be fair,
It was 12, but I've halved it.
Nice.
I would never
You're
have
at
met Tom.
university though.
I would never have
I
met Tom
believe-
out of my hometown.
Oh no, never mind, it just has to flee. It's,
Awesome. You cast your distant whispers. You see the human ghoul kind of it's trying to bite into Scott, but it's clutching at its brain as you whisper horrible
Not
truths.
for
into its
6
head.
minutes. Anyway.
Who's
um,
third?
It's one of the songs.
What are you doing?
His original albums.
I'm
but
gonna go
I've
over
been
to this
Nuts
last
and
school
Services more
Yeah.
times
Attack
than
it
I've
with
been
my
to
great
Big
axe.
Big
Nice.
Well,
Still
to be
alive?
fair, in Yorkshire, I have met
There's one
two
left.
people who've been to
That's
Nuts and
cool.
Services. No one else has gone to Nuts and Services.
Oh, no? Nice, good.
And you know what? I've never been to Nuts and Services.
What are you doing?
Because
I'm
of
gonna
that
attack with
one.
my great
It's,
axe.
Nice.
I know where it is.
It's the most middleist
19
point
to
I
hit.
think on most journeys
19 will
I've
hit.
done.
Yeah.
So it tends to be,
Death
no, I'm
by
going to
death
keep
now.
going for nuts, and then I
One.
pop my rock.
Oh, you should have just gone through a pause. You know that bridge that goes over the motorway to the floor?
12
Yeah, that I used to go over that
12
bridge to get to
damage.
high
How do you want to finish off a ghoul?
Well, in a coach.
Wait, are you
Never been asked that question before.
So I don't know where it is, but I've not actually been there.
The last ghoul's about to be
It's okay.
slain.
It's
I mean,
it's
well,
down.
Last ghoul's about to
I go to
die.
my mum's house.
Go for it.
Not if I have anything to say to me. Spare the dialogue. I am killing this motherfucker. I'm going to keep him alive.
You say Nuts and Services are
Chop his head off.
2 years ago, watching Gavin's
And then as his head's
60th
flying,
special.
line
Yeah,
up
I was in my with
like a
in
golf
my
club,
all my family,
get it
in
on the
Nuts,
volley,
and then
into
like,
the river.
You know what's a good
You-
service station?
You decapitate the ghoul, the skull flies in the air, you bat it, and your last thought as you see it sinking to the river was like,
services.
oh, we're supposed to be keeping those because they get you 20 gold pieces ahead.
Oh, I want this sensible stream.
As you see it sink.
Well, I haven't moved yet. Can I go try and catch it?
You can go into the. You can't try and catch it. You can, if you want to run into the river to try and find it.
But isn't the water bad?
It's 20 gold.
Yeah.
Get it, get it.
Fetch,
Yeah, we do
cat
need
boy.
Wait,
mean,
no,
that's
no,
coming
don't go into the
from
water.
Burnley.
Was it mouth leeches? The mouth leeches.
Yeah.
Was it towards the water we hit it or was it towards
Yeah, you said towards the river.
I Cooper Louie can extend his tree branches. Can he get it?
Cooper Louie. Cooper Louie looks in the water. He goes. Quasha goes. No.
Well,
Funny,
Crash
you did
says
the
no,
same
then I'll
thing
say
for
no.
yes.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question to the DM?
Yes.
So you know the
No.
we had to well, if we report back to the is it Lyra who
Can we
report
do a
back
drawing
to,
of the
and then
head?
we have to give the 50%.
Yes.
So what about what she promised us? So do we give her 50% and then she gives us
50% of the treasures you find, or what they're worth.
Okay, so say if we collected like 1 million ghouls heads or whatever, she'd pay us and that would be separate. to
So
how much-
she, yes, it would be, but she also said she'd only got a budget to pay up to 11. Just FYI.
Yeah, but
So we've got 3.
What I mean is, if we fill her quest, that's separate to turning in.
Yes, that would be separate, yes.
So it's
So all you really have to do is hide your findings before you go see her, I guess. But I mean, you
yeah,
could do that.
To be fair, even if she searches, we don't have to take it with us.
And then like
Should
a
I
net,
just put it in my notes then?
like fishes.
You've got a spare seat in the boat, so you can start piling the ghoul heads there if you want.
But we can only take a maximum of, well, we can only get paid for a maximum of 11, so it's not much point. I say we just keep walking around, kill the 11 thingies, go back, get our money, and then crack on with the rest of them.
One way to go back there, there's like a boat ride,
And she only
and then
has,
another
it's
boat
not
ride.
like 11 at a time, it's, she can only pay 11.
So I will. You get back in your canoes, you continue down the river. Because you've kind of had most of the day in the city, this evening you don't have to make any saves or anything, we'll just assume you'd eaten and drank throughout the course of the day, so this is the first day we have to do anything. Eventually you need to make camp.
Oh, what's Chloe say?
We're all there for cheesy chips.
Cool. So do you have, I assume you kind of, you get up towards the coast as it gets towards night time. Are you setting up camp? What does camp look like? What are you doing? What's the process.
I think most of us have got tents.
Can we look for like
Yeah.
if there's any dry area, like, slightly clearing?
I'll just adjust this. If you kind of perhaps you suggest that, and Crusher says that is unlikely, honestly, in the jungle.
Dry.
Well, yes. If we head away from the river, we might have a better chance. And also, if there is a flood, we are more likely to survive. We would have to drag the canoes with us if we want to keep them.
Probably for the best. We don't want to be flooded out or.
Cool. But yes, we'll have a look into that. We'll see how well it goes.
I was just going to say, can I roll a perception to see if there's a suitable place for us to
Can
camp?
be survival.
It would be survival.
Survival, okay, yeah.
Your guides say they'll take care of that.
Right, okay. I am proficient.
River Mist and flask of wine. River Mist goes, I do not know why we cannot just sleep in the boats in the river. And then Quasha suggests that maybe we should move further into the jungle. I do not think that is a good idea. It's a backseat shrug. You make your way back. You make your way kind of into the bit. You find a bit like a bit of clearing. Bit drier, still damp. It is a rainforest after all. But yeah, you find somewhere to make camp from there. So what does camp look like? What do you kind of do when you set up? So how many tents have you got between you?
I have a 2-person tent, and I'm sharing with Kerry or Anastriana. She doesn't have a tent.
I
Okay.
also have a 2-person tent.
I think most of us have 2-person tents.
Yeah.
For equipment and junk.
I have a 1-person tent and a 1 dinosaur tent.
Where did you get a dinosaur tent from?
I'm just huge, so
What?
it's just 1 tent. I've got 2 tents.
Oh,
It's 2 tents, I've stitched them together.
Have you got a
so
2-person tent?
Yes.
no, you can share with.
It's for 2 people, so you could both fit in if you wanted to struggle in with Jungle
Sharing.
Princess.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Jungle Princess kind of gets out the boat. She's kind of got her muzzle on, right? Do you have her claws? I suppose actually her claws are filed away, so not so sharp. Yeah, so she can't actually make a claw attack, but she has teeth. So what? Yeah, I was going to say, what does camp look like? Who's got tents? What are you saying? Do you get a fire going? What's the?
Set up
Can I
tents.
get a fire going?
Yeah.
Can I look at the land, see if there's any like naturally sharp sticks, whatever I can put as like traps or.
Give me a survival check.
Not my strong suit as a wizard.
You could set a trap if you wanted.
What survival check did you say?
Yeah.
That is a natural 20, so 22 in total.
So you are able to find not big sticks. I imagine you're looking for stuff like that, but you're able to find there's some kind of like spiky weeds and thorns that if you wanted you could kind of pull around your tent. Perhaps you work out you can set like a like almost like a tripwire at like neck level if anything human size structure run through. You're able to somewhat defend yourselves against any incursions in the night.
Wonderful.
I suppose you sit all around the campfire. You've got an opportunity to chat, talk about what you're kind of wanting to do.
Question: ghouls' bodies,
Yes.
would they be tasty for a dinosaur?
The dinosaur.
Quasha would inform you. He would say they are. She is likely to be very ill, and I hear a rumor that eating ghoul flesh will turn you into a ghoul, and I don't think I want to see a ghoul dinosaur.
Can I try and forage?
You and I have very different.
In fact, Quasha will have put the ghoul bodies in the river because he doesn't want other things to find them and become ghouls. He's trying to reduce.
Arcane or a history check to see if that
What
room's
if
got any
something in the
relevance.
river eats?
And
Wait,
the leeches. There's leeches.
ghoul neck leech. Oh my god. that's
Sorry, Molly, would be
terrifying.
arcane or history?
That would be either. Either's fine.
I'll go for arcane.
But what if I need to?
17.
You would know. So you would know with 17 that ghouls happen when humans eat human flesh.
Okay.
In certain instances, and when there's magic there as well. You know that they can give you paralysis. They have like a thing in their claws which can paralyze you. And there is some truth. If you were to eat a ghoul, you can become a ghoul. It certainly would make sense.
I'll go to Magma. No, don't feed him that. If you do that, he'll be infected. We don't want a dinosaur ghoul on our hands. God.
Or do we?
It sounds like a
How does that
bad
animal-
sea movie.
Could I go over to
It is
the
Sharknado.
river with my cooking pot and fill it up?
Yes. So you start a fire. Oh, in fact, the tabaxis will the river mist and flask of wine start a fire. Your what did you want to do?
I said like 5 minutes ago, like, oh yeah, I'll start a
Oh,
fire.
I'm sorry. Give me a survival.
No, I don't want to now.
Give me a survival.
No, flask of wine's gonna do it.
What's
Sorry, I'm leaving you for an imaginary cat.
it's a 13.
Sorry?
It's a 13.
A 13. Yeah, you get a good fire going.
The pity pool is mine.
Can I add to the fire to make it cook worthy?
It's already cooked already, but you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's a good
Stone
fire.
Okay.
Did you want to set up your? You can set up your cooking utensils around there if you want. Put like the kind of like the Dutch oven, like the tripod over the top and
Dutch
stuff
oven.
like that.
Oh god, no.
The Dutch oven is a cooking instrument. You can set like a tripod and put pots over if you want to make food. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I was thinking of when you boil the river water, it's safe to drink it.
Yeah. So you want to put the kind of like the fucking. You've got like a pot. I imagine. You
Are we
put that over,
using
yeah?
some of our water?
Yeah, absolutely. Do it.
How much water did that hold? Sorry.
Sorry. Well, what I was going to say. So it sounds like if Scrotch, what I'd say over the course of this evening, you're able to make enough water for everything.
Okay.
If you would like to, you can absolutely do that if you want. And fill up water skins, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
We don't need to know how much is exactly. I'll just say on an evening you can fill with water skins if you
I
have
have a
access
plan
to
as
it.
well, so if we need more space to boil, we can just have 2 fires and 2 times.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. You have quite an efficient water filtration operation, but yeah, you can go fill up water and kind of bring it back to camp. You boil it down. You perhaps in your cooking utensils you have like cheesecloth.
Yeah.
And you filter it out, and you see as you're filtering out tiny little insects that seem to like curled up. You filter all those out, and you have fresh water for everything.
Okay.
Question says it is actually it is okay to eat the throat leeches when they are curled up, but if you want to filter it out, that's fine as
Can
well.
I place out my water catcher next to my tent just in case it rains?
Absolutely fine.
Same.
I'm gonna spoon you.
Well, no, if he's made what?
I'm joking.
I do like starfish though.
I'm just gonna like
So-
squeeze into the into the side. 'Cause I've
None
only
of us
got-
will have
I've
to
only
take
got ice
water
and
rations
flask
off for the
of
day
wine.
then.
I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. Can I forage a bit of food as
Well,
well?
I'll
So
share
if
it
we
with
can.
you.
Yeah,
But you
can
wake
slap
up
it.
sort of snuggled together.
Yeah. Like, sorry, I was drinking
17.
someone else.
17. You are able to gather. What's your wisdom score? Wisdom modifier.
Oh, cheers, thanks.
She's waiting for
Plus 2.
You are able to find.
Yeah. Whisper.
You are able to find 3 days rations. You go through the jungle. You find a variety. Perhaps Quasha comes along with you to help identify like some of the plants. You find some
That's a
fairly
plan.
exotic fruits.
That's a plan. That's a plan.
That's a
Like
big plot.
kind of variations on dragon fruits and
Some
stuff like
people
that.
would
You're
even
able to get
say
some different.
fruit.
There's like long grasses which are quite
Yeah, but
thick,
technically a
Yeah.
which
plant.
can be used in place of things like asparagus and stuff like that. You find like a variety of different fruits.
Okay.
But yeah, you're able to find that.
Can I go hunting for meat for the dinosaur?
You
I
could
got lots of
absolutely. You want to track down some. You want to track something down.
Yeah, go on, I'll go hunting.
Give me a survival track.
That one.
You're dead.
Sorry.
You
I
are.
slipped in a pile of mud.
You're kind of tracking around, and you're like, you're not used to being in the jungle.
Yeah.
You're sweating a bit. You're kind of
Used to
looking at the
forest.
track. You're kind of like, you can see some undead tracks. You're aware there's been undead past. You know undead. But you do not find anything good to eat. I did mean to say, the skulls have the marking on it.
Sorry, the school's
The ghoul heads have that marking on it.
Ah, okay, that's interesting.
My little downtime, can I be writing in my book about any foliage that I see, any animals? I'm going to be drawing diagrams truly, and it's going to be the Idiot's Guide to Chulch Jungles.
Quash can provide information if you're interested.
Yeah, I'm just going to be writing it all down in my academic journal and I'll take it back to university.
Crusher tells you about the varieties of different fruits you can find.
Okay.
He tells you of a fruit called a wooka nut. They grow on wooka trees.
My notes are
Um,
getting pretty
you have to be quite
I'm not even introducing tables.
He says you have to be quite careful when you are looking for waka nut,
Two additional proficiencies.
because the waka tree is home to the jaculi, to zorbos, to sea monster. You do not want to have it. You want to be careful.
Like I can, like I am making.
So 14.
But if you
And at the end of the session, I'll look down at it and say, Trigger.
if you give the waka nut a shake, it is like a torch. It like illuminates. They are very good foods. And he kind of goes around telling you about all like the different flora and fauna.
Is that for tissues? Why not tissues?
Can I? So
They don't have
like
issues with
set up now and settled.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Can I roll a perception just to like see if I can hear anything? Or
Absolutely. Give me a perception check.
I just read that I have expertise, so my two chosen proficiencies I've doubled, and I've chosen deception and perception. So
Nice.
I just double it. A 16 plus 12.
Is that you? No.
As you're listening into the jungle, you can hear insects, you can hear birds, you occasionally hear the distant roar of a dinosaur kind of far away. Nothing too
really
close. Potentially really close. What did you get for your perception?
That's 28.
Do the roar.
16 plus 12.
28 is pretty good, yeah.
28.
That's my dinosaur now. My dinosaur just can go.
Do the roar.
This dice is insane.
As you're sitting there having a look around, seeing you kind of the camp you're in is like a big dry kind of space that you're all sitting in.
Yeah.
It's almost like a natural kind of divot in the ground that you're all kind of sitting in. And as you're kind of looking around with your perception check,
Guys, I'm just sat like a little bit back from the group, just.
you're kind of looking, and you notice a lot of the trees around you are quite bent, like outwards, and so a few of them have like snapped, as if something's like pushed them over or crushed them. You do notice, with the 26, the natural divot you're in doesn't actually look that natural. It looks quite fresh, quite recent. And as you look around, you look at your friends, you look at your allies, and you notice you're all sitting, all of you, inside a footprint.
Oh, the giant footprints.
I'm like, guys.
What is it?
Have any of you noticed that around there's a bit of a funny shape?
Oh, yes.
We're in Schultz, nothing to regulate.
Yeah.
We're in a footprint.
What do
You're
you
a
mean?
footprint.
You're a print.
Yes, you're a foot.
Ah,
I got you.
You smell bad and should be far away from people's faces.
What if these are
Why am I
giant?
helping?
So,
Yes.
yeah. I inform the group
This is
we are in a
true.
footprint.
I wonder if this is the giant.
Quasha, sorry?
Yep.
Quasha kind of strokes his chin thoughtfully. He goes, I cannot see there being giants in church.
Do you know what might have made this footprint?
Well, we have a many big dinosaur. We have T-Rex. It could be a T-Rex.
Does it look like a T-Rex?
Big, but not that big.
No. I mean, it could be a. I don't know. I hear a rumor of somewhere in the jungle there is a big dinosaur that can cast spells. It could be
What?
that.
I want that one.
Wait,
Oh.
wait. River Mist, what do you think?
River Mist looks and she said, "What?" River Mist looks. Yes, it's definitely a foot. Yes. Bigfoot.
Wait, flask of wine, what do you think? Bigfoot. I like his
And then
style.
he turns and goes, Bigfoot? And then he goes, "Ah,
Is Bigfoot?
And
We
then-
found him.
Notes, Bigfoot? Question mark. Bigfoot in bold.
Underlined.
It's a giant footprint.
Flask of wine says, it looks to me like something large has made this footprint.
No
Maybe.
shit, Sherlock.
No, my name is River Mist, and this is my brother Flask of Wine. And they both bow.
So around.
She says, Miss says, to be fair, it sounds like it should be a T-Rex. We find T-Rexes in the jungle. I think it is a
It
T-Rex.
should be a T-Rex.
I can't think of it as a movie.
Okay, wait,
It's
wait,
not my guy's
you,
character, is
what's your name?
it?
Scorch,
My
what
Monday
do you
campaign.
think?
What? It's a big
He's a little
footprint.
gnome that turns into
Smells
a
like
dinosaur and kills
Do
me.
you not get any kind of roles because you're from the area? Does he get
Yeah,
a
I
nature role or something?
It matches, I'll tell you. Not, you don't know of anything that could make somebody this size. A T-Rex maybe. You've only seen young T-Rexes because they've been in Port Nines. You don't know how big a T-Rex can get. You don't know of
I'm talking
anything.
shape. Does it look like a human's foot or does it look like a T-Rex's
It is
foot?
survival check because it is. You all kind of camped in it and stuff. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably like trampled against it.
That doesn't look good.
It's 12.
You see like round bits which could be toes, but they could be claws. The shape could be like a human. It could be like it's really hard to tell, especially after you've been trampling around and setting up fires and stuff.
Do I not gain any sort of advantage or knowledge because of my perception of noticing?
The footprint is about the listeners at home can't hear this. It's like a few inches deep.
Yeah.
So the fact you've seen it is what's impressive. It's really hard. The DC was 25. So like when you was like, fuck yeah, she saw it.
Can I sort of scout in the direction where the toes are pointing to see if I can find a second footprint, see if I can follow the trail?
You give me survival check. Oh no, actually 17. Did you get 17? What did you get?
No.
12. You can see the next footprint. It's probably about 10 yards away.
Short strides then.
But like it's not. You can't find the third one. Like you can only see
Not
this
even if we
one.
went to the second one.
No, that's when you explore the area. You can only find these two. So maybe the ground was wet when the giants passed.
So there's not a
Or
whole trail.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it might have jumped or
Yeah, yeah.
broken into a run or
Could have flown.
even if it just broke into a longer
It could be a
stride.
flying T-Rex.
So it's a T-Rex.
Could be a
It
flying
could
T-Rex.
be. He said could.
That
Egg.
sounds like it's a T-Rex to me.
It could be God. Who knows?
What do you guys want
No,
to do?
Tempest
Do you want
Feet
to
doesn't look like that.
do you want to follow the
Yes, sandals.
footprints? Do you want to see if we can go in that direction
I
or
would
do you want
like
to get back in the
rest
boat?
first.
Yeah, so we go.
I thought we'd already had a rest.
No, this was as you're getting settling down for the night.
Oh, okay. Well, rest first, yeah.
Just hiked up the camp a little bit.
I need a nap.
I'm tired.
That's a good idea.
Oh, I am poor tired man. Oh.
Is anyone taking watch?
I was about to volunteer.
I'll take
so
watch, yeah. I'll take first watch.
Can I take the watch where most people are going to be dead asleep and just fuck off?
I'll take second.
What I do to you?
Are we gonna have 3 watches or?
Yeah, see, obviously you're sleeping for 8 hours. There's 10 of you, so you can kind of set up the. Okay.
how long is a long rest?
8 hours.
8 hours.
So you're setting down for 8 hours.
Wait, if we settle down, if we settle down for 8 hours, does that not mean that we would, if some of us want to take watch, don't we sit down for more than that so that we can all have 8 hours?
So 8 hours not doing anything, but you can spend 2 hours watching basically. What I
So
usually
4
do,
watches.
what I usually do with watches, I kind of abstract it away, and I roll to see if any of you are up. So it's like I'll roll like a d6. They're like you're awake for this. So it doesn't.
So
We
we're
don't.
not actually assigning ourselves
No,
watches.
you can assign an order, but I find it gets kind of who's doing this, who's doing that. So unless you really do want to like.
I mean, I'm fine with doing whatever way you want to do it.
That's fine. If you particularly want to be first, let me know. But what I usually do is I'm just like, it's on your watch.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I feel like it's
As
pretty
long as I get my
Oriana.
long rest, I want to do a watch. I don't really mind which one.
I feel like it's pretty Oriana rest to just sit up all night and
Exhaustion exists.
You could be exhausted.
Make sure you get the sleep.
You rest, you sleep, you keep watch.
You probably don't want to be drinking alcohol too much in this season as well.
The next day, let's see what the weather's like.
Sunny. No.
monsoon.
Did we
Comfortable.
gain any water overnight from the water thingies?
It's cloudy.
And yeah, all your supplies are up, like fully topped up. Yeah, you're all good. It is around 35 degrees,
Oh.
normal. So it's normal for the jungle, but it is hot. There is no wind and no rain. It's quite a pleasant day. It's hot. You can hear the kind of the insects, you know, the cicadas that you have like chirping in the forest, and you can hear like
Think Barcelona.
roaring.
Never been.
I have not been on an aeroplane since I was 11.
Think the Amazon. Why?
I was going to say, like, aren't we in a jungle? Wouldn't a jungle be a better? Or are you thinking the concrete?
Because I was like, oh, she's thinking of. I was thinking of she was thinking of a reference point she has, but it's not.
Like I've always said, if you say something with confidence, it's believable.
About that at work. Everyone thinks I'm really smart.
Dear Lord. Right.
I got to in my lecture today. I basically said I basically told a room of 20 students learning how to be bartenders that no matter how good you are at anything, there'll always be someone that's better than you and has more knowledge than you. So my biggest piece of advice is leave your ego at the door, because it won't get you anywhere in any industry. Second of all, if you get told off, don't keep saying, but I was just gonna just shut up and take it.
Oh, I wonder who you're thinking of.
No, this is not so bad.
Sorry, Morgan, what were you saying?
I wasn't saying anything. I was letting everyone talk so I can do my stuff. So. You wake up the next day. It's a fully pleasant day. Feel free to talk in character and make your plans.
Let's go.
I say we get back to the boat. Anything this size, I don't think we can take on our equipment.
What?
I don't think we can take on this big beastie.
Giant
We should get back to the boat.
Oh, you surprised?
I can take them.
You ever stood on Lego? Small. That's a lot of damage.
What is this
Get
Lego?
out.
He means Duplo, but smaller.
Sorry, not really.
He said, what's like that? It is Duplo, but smaller.
But it was in character, so it's like as if that's a global reference. I understand your confusion. You wake up the next day. You see Quasha and Koopa Louie and Rivermist. Quasha, Koopa Louie, Rivermist, and Flask of Wine seem to be having a conversation about what direction to head in, kind of whereabouts down the river they're going to go. They seem to disagree, but Quasha eventually shrugs, and it looks like Rivermist and Flask of Wine are going to take the lead today.
Yeah.
And you head down to
Is
the
that a good
river.
idea? They suggested we sleep in the boat.
Did they?
Yeah.
I'm going to side with Flask of Wine and everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rivermist says, "We know this.
You're an idiot.
We know this part of the jungle as well. We know it well." Are you? So you're chumming up to Flask of Wine.
Yeah.
Got really confused.
You all get in the boats. Can you just give me a straight charisma check?
Okay.
Have you seen this video? Superman. Very clean bed.
6.
Yeah, I'm not very critical.
You don't get a lot out of him. You don't get anything out of him. In fact, as he's running. You haven't upset him. Like he's not spoken to you. Cool. What's everyone doing on the boat? Are people reading? Are people like keeping watch?
I want to keep an eye out for fish and strange creatures in there.
I'm going to keep an eye on the the jungle line to see if I see any more dwarfs.
Perception check. What's everyone else doing?
I'm rowing the boat.
You're rowing.
Yeah,
You're rowing.
I'm sitting there with my short swords crossed, just kind of
Ooh, should I get them though?
like looking
Put them
around,
in the boat.
scanning the
Out the
horizon.
beams. 35 quid for 2.
23.
23. You see, as you're looking through the tree line, you don't see any ghouls, but you do see one of the trees looks like it's moving, like its skin is moving, the skin of the tree.
Okay, like
And you
the
look a
bark.
bit- yeah, like the bark is kind of revolving. Then you can be close and you see the tree's covered in snakes. And as you're kind of looking, one of them kind of stops. And then the entire tree empties as all 10 snakes come from a tree and start flying through the sky.
Had to be snakes.
And they fly and they start flying up the jungle, kind of back deeper, not towards you
away
guys.
from us.
They seem to be going like almost like you've disturbed a flock of birds. They take off and start flying through the sky.
Okay.
And you would see this as well.
Flying snakes?
Yes. Do you want to see a picture of one?
I'm out. No.
Let me see if I can
want
find a
to
picture
sleep
of one.
tonight.
Do you want to hear something even worse? Flying snakes are real.
Are they where? What country?
They glide.
What
I
country?
don't know what country, but they glide.
Oh, gliding snakes. That's not the same.
Like flying squirrels.
Yeah,
They
like
fall-
gliding snakes.
They're just falling snakes they're falling with style, they're not flying.
I haven't got a picture of a flying snake, my friend. Sorry.
Yes,
There was a snake on the next page.
Sorry?
There was a snake on the next page.
Not a flying snake.
No,
It's not. It's not a flying snake. It's
Snake on a plane.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
a
flying
real
snake.
flying snake, bitch.
I don't know if I'm more terrified.
So yeah, you see 10 snakes fly off. Weaver, you see, you're kind of looking in the water,
Only got a 7, so I don't see much.
and you see the water. You don't see. You see flying snakes, but you don't see anything in particular.
Something murky. I'm also going to give the guy that arcane inspiration, which is said.
I want one of those snakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Which guide?
Not flask of wine, the other one.
Okay.
River Mist.
River Mist and Basket. Yeah, cool. Nice. You continue down the river. Is there just anything you wanted to do on that day, or are you just kind of ambling down? Any questions you wanted to ask the guides?
I'm just gonna keep like ear open for any like information they drop on the jungle, writing it down in my little book, that type of thing.
Yeah,
Maybe
absolutely.
having some
Well, apparently-
smokes, that type of thing.
Quasha is quite open with the information he's got. He gives you quite a lot of information.
Close lost back.
But you can see he's much less talkative than he was when you were all at camp. He seems to be similar to Anastriana, kind of looking at the tree line
attention.
fairly consistently. As you get further into the jungle, he is looking to the east side of the river. As you kind of get further in, he's looking very specifically to the east, as he kind of absent-mindedly answers your questions and gives you kind of little tidbits here and there. Cool. End of the day, you don't encounter anything else apart from flying snakes throughout the day.
So cool.
You pull up.
They're like a squashed hose pipe.
What they are.
Isn't that snake?
Oh, really? Snakes
No,
are a
to make
regular
them
hose
like-
pipe?
Yeah. But they flatten out like someone stuck in a hose
I
pipe.
saw him in Berlin.
I'm studying a
You're studying the flying snakes.
Yeah.
You eventually you come to the end of the day. So can everyone scratch off a day's rations?
No.
Can everyone scratch off 2 gallons of water?
I've got a water skin.
Yeah.
Are we not just like sort of like filling that back up from the barrel?
Yeah. So what I'm going to say is, whenever you're by the river, so if you get to a point where you're not on the river anymore, this won't be an option.
Okay, yeah.
But for now, what we'll say is, we'll assume your kind of camp set up every night
Okay.
is fine. You manage to get your water skins all set up. But the minute you're away from the river is when we'll start worrying about water rations.
That makes sense.
So yeah, scratch off a day's rations.
Got it.
How much is it? It's just one.
It's one.
Yeah, just one. You can do half rations if times are tight, but that will start to affect you. Like,
So we've got 9 now, don't
Can I look and hunt again?
Well, you
Over
have
at the end
nine.
over there.
absolutely, give me a survival check.
we? I had 5 rations already in my bag.
Ooh, nat 20. That's 4. 24. Can I use that as one of my rations?
Can you roll a d12 for me?
Yeah, sure. I can figure out which one that is.
The weird one. I mean, they're all weird. The one that looks like this.
The squishy one.
No.
The squishy one? Your dad shouldn't be squishy.
No.
It looks like
It's
a
a pretty
football.
squishy.
Oh, the one that's like a D20 is small.
Yes.
Yeah.
7.
7.
Oh, he's sleeping in the boat still?
Sorry?
Oh, he's sleeping in the boat still?
I assumed you were doing what
Can
you
I
usually
eat
did.
other people's rations because I've now got 69 in the
well.
bar.
Sorry?
I have 40 insect
Oh yeah, sorry.
repellent.
Everyone scratch off a day's insect repellent as well.
Should it be 2 because we've been...
Yeah, so you should have 2 less days of insect repellent,
And
1
one
day's
less.
less ration.
Is it 2 a day?
No,
it's
it's
one
one
a
a
day,
day.
but this is our second day. But we had food at the town or the port or whatever.
Inside.
Yeah.
Could I just go up onto the embankment to make a fire to boil some more water?
Yes, you start boiling water, absolutely. Replenishing everyone's stocks, making sure everyone's well watered.
The salve, not the insects.
I got the salve.
You got the salve, yeah, I think.
I think we got the salve. It was cheaper.
It was 40.
Can I get the staff of swarming insects?
Sorry?
I bought the staff of swarming insects. I think I got the one.
Yeah, no, you don't have the spell stuff.
Definitely put the wrong thing.
I was
So,
joking.
no, 38.
Does my oh, wrong way. Does my young man, the dinosaur, need its companion as well?
Say that again.
Does the dinosaur need it too, or will he?
Yeah, so you'll have to scratch off. The Jungle Princess has the same requirements, so a day's ration and a gallon of water, but we're not worrying about water because you're by the river and you have the
Also,
ability
he's
to
got a whole barrel of meat for the lunch.
Yeah.
Is it like salt?
Yeah.
Jerky.
Oh, you're giving me an animal handling
It's
check?
that vegan jerky that thing he brought. Me?
Animal handling.
No.
It's
Did I,
here.
what did I get from my hunting?
I'm just adjusting this.
Try this one.
What'd you get?
Should try that one.
What'd you get?
What did you get?
What'd you get?
Depends.
On.
I wanted to do it digitally. She said they'd do it in real life. In real
Which
life, I got 3.
Okay, you haven't gone back on any progress, but you haven't made any more. But she's still a bit offish with you.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's not the Wi-Fi's not loading well for me. I don't know why. You see 5 of these guys. They're about the size of a
Pterodactyl.
human.
Wait, can I see, sorry?
They're called pterodons. One of these guys.
Oh, it's gross.
Basically, a pterodactyl.
So as you stalk through the jungle by yourself,
Wait, what? I thought we go back on the boats. Did we not go
I
back?
went hunting.
you've settled.
Did
This is a
anyone want
night's
to
camp.
come hunting
You've settled
with
down
me?
for the night.
Oh, we're settling.
Did you take anyone with you?
Did anyone want to come with me? Just
Did you-
yourselves like.
Oh, actually, yeah, I'll go with
I
you
will have.
because
I
I
will
want
have
to
said
teach
that I was going hunting.
Jungle Princess to hunt.
Rapool.
So you see these flights, they've got a wingspan around 15 to 20 feet. And you can see they've got these massive kind of elongated beaks. And they seem to be nesting for the night. There's about, like I said, there's 5 of them, all kind of sitting around, preening themselves,
In a tree?
cleaning their feathers. No, on the ground.
Oh, on the ground.
They seem to be they're chilling. They've kind of like made this area to kind of like rest out. You can see they've kind of pushed the grasses down, pulled stuff together, and they're resting here. Like I said, there are 5 of them.
Are there any eggs?
So
Have you gone
they've
hunting?
not. They've not
Yeah.
gone to sleep yet.
There are no eggs. Sorry?
They've not gone to sleep yet.
They're kind of, animals never really go to, when like a dog's kind of like half asleep, half awake. That's kind of the state they're in.
But they are sort of.
They're kind of resting, yeah.
Not aware.
They are unaware. In fact, give me a stealth check.
All of us?
Everyone that's gone hunting, yes.
Did you just think of half asleep dogs, Julia?
11.
Yeah. I was like, ha!
Dog.
Because I was just thinking, when they did the little toe thing, they're like,
Yeah, they're like chasing something in the tree.
Yeah.
That's
That's
like
what I
Emily.
pictured.
Like mailman?
Well, I screamed that.
11.
Yeah.
13.
13. Anyone, who else is there?
Should I roll for the dinosaur?
Ariana's there.
Yes. Do you have the stats for Deinonychus? Deinonychus? Do I have the stats for
I love the
Deinonychus?
dinosaur.
Is it stealth?
Yes, I want the stealth check.
What's this modifier of stealth?
Dexterity.
Oh.
Probably got better dex than you.
Yeah, I'm proficient in stealth.
I'm not really good at Well, I'm not really good at but
I'm
quite
really
good.
good at stealth, thank God.
You should be great at stealth, Ariana.
Yeah, mine is +6. I'm just seeing if I've got anything else, like any traits or features that
You
I've
don't.
got 19 anyway.
No, when you find.
Yeah.
What is your. I'm trying to find the stat block for your dinosaur. D-E-I-N. It should come up then.
Searching anything.
Hydration is it?
Oh, that's a monster. No.
What's it called? A tiny. Just.
D-E-I-N-O-N-Y.
C-H-U-S.
What?
C-H-U-S.
It's a +2 to Dex.
I had it. I was just checking if I got the
There
right
you go.
thing.
There you go.
Just got it
That's
wrong.
That is mine. It's the stats.
Like, I don't want to be in the middle of this.
I know, but I bought these. I want to use them.
Yeah, excuse me, I bought all of this as well. I bloody uses it. It was like, yeah, that's cool.
Nerd.
I think that was aimed at me. But you know, you take it.
Oh, nerdy.
No, geeky is different.
So,
I
yeah,
don't know
nerds
enough
know
about
shit.
stuff.
Smart.
I
We only
like
know
a
about things that aren't real.
I like a lot of stuff. I just don't know enough about them.
So, you all managed to successfully sneak up upon the pterodons.
Wait, what? Yeah, my dinosaur rolled the same as me, so that's
Your dinosaur, as you're getting closer, Jungle Princess goes into full kind of like predator mode. She kind of goes, as she sees them, she kind of goes belly to the ground. She hasn't had a fresh kill in quite some time. Belly to the ground. She's still got a muzzle on, and then she take it off.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I go, good girl, feed her a bit of jerky, and then take the muzzle off.
You take it off, she allows it to kind of take it off. This kind of ruffles her feathers a bit, and then settles down into the ground.
Like June, in any situation.
So, what is your plan? Specifically, your hunting plan. What are you doing?
I like to think I've just come back out of the jungle with my little shovel and toilet roll. Where's everyone gone?
Quasher,
I just said, what?
They left us, mate.
the guides and Quathina are all just kind of sat there. Quasher shrugs.
I just pull out a deck of cards out of my hat. Cards?
Yes.
Who else is with us?
I'm going to ready my bow and just look at them.
Oh, all of us.
I like nod and see if they're
Yeah.
all going to agree.
It's just Coffeen and Weaver that stay.
Coffee?
No.
Cards?
Yeah?
Weefy.
We were just a
Weefy.
thing.
Quasher pulls out one of those caps from poker and is like, give me Quasher is experienced
I'm
with
going to ready an action with my bow and then look at you all and see if you all agree to attack me.
I'm going to cast, wait.
Are you aiming for
We've
the
had a
same
rest, haven't
one?
Yeah.
Are you trying to down one beast?
I mean, how would we all know which one to aim for?
Code? Like,
Talk about it.
Point.
They're all in the same direction.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But they're not also
I think they're right there.
We also could have spoken to each other before we separated.
I'll allow you to whisper
We
amongst
separate.
yourselves.
I don't think we're separate.
I don't think we're separate.
Do we pick one? Hang on, there's 4 of them, yes?
Yes.
There's 4 of us and a
I
dinosaur.
thought there was 5 of them.
No, there's 5 of them. Yeah, sorry.
So there's 5 of them, there's 5 of us. We pick one each.
Each
Or do we want to try and take one down?
To be fair, we take them down one at a time. It's a bit easier.
Well,
don't
the
have
likelihood is if you take one down, the rest will fuck off or attack.
Got out of the abyss. It's got a really
Yeah,
useful
but I
thing.
don't think it's that likely that we'll be able to
somebody
take,
stole it.
to
I think
take
Esther's
one
still
down
there.
immediately.
Oh, I'm not starting that.
I
Well,
think if we each attack all of them, we might not all hit, we're not going to kill any of them. But if we kill one of them immediately, then only 4 are attacking us or running away. We've still got
I reckon we get the one with the blackish bluish look on the skin. The blackish bluish one.
So I aim for the blackish bluish one.
You want to go for the blackish blue with the kind of it's kind of got like black feathers and then a few hints of blue in it. Cool. You will go for different ones.
No,
No,
we're the
it's the
same
same one.
Nice.
If it's distinctive, then we can communicate that we want
So I will.
I sort of just hope that Queenie gets what I'm saying.
Queenie?
I'm not saying
can I try
fucking
and-
jungle
Princess.
queen,
Is
jungle
that
princess.
animal handling?
Oh,
to try and
I'm just going to call her
communicate which one
princess.
he wants to attack?
Because that's not creepy at all.
Can I
A grown
also
man
give
calling
animal
something
handling?
princess.
So I will give you an animal
And it
handling.
not being
Can
their
I
dog.
also try and tell it? Because I've got a I've got animal handling with me as well.
You can
Yeah.
help. So
Oh, I make
Can I
up my
use
money.
it?
who's got the best animal handling out of you two?
I've got a +4 to animal handling.
Oh yeah, you should do that.
Yeah.
So do it with advantage
Okay.
because you're assisting.
How would I increase my animal handling
Wisdom.
wisdom? Oh, passed out. There we go.
Neither of them were that good. 11.
It was also feet.
Is that 11 total?
11 is the best I can do.
So you both go next to Jungle Princess as you're taking her mask off and muzzle, and as you go to indicate together which one for her to go for, she sprints right for one of them, and you don't get.
We should hit that one.
Yeah, to be fair, can we attack the one?
So you don't get a surprise round anymore.
Okay.
So we're just gonna we'll go to initiative,
Okay.
and she will. You can just go for the one that she's going for.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for one.
So everyone that's there, can I get initiative, please?
10.
Get Max to do it though.
Can I get so initiative?
I was not expecting it to start.
Initiative for everyone that's hunting.
Yeah.
18.
Oh,
Oh, hang on.
wait, are we
17.
playing cards for money?
No. What?
You can be if you want, it's up to
I rolled an 8.
you. You two play like online poker whilst we're doing
I'm
this.
playing it for roll
They're
ups.
playing Grinch.
So, did anyone
She
get?
hasn't got rollers.
Would you like to look at pretty cards?
What did Jungle? So I'll get Jungle Princess can just act with you. Just makes sense.
18.
17.
The roll doubles. Well, some of them.
Anyone got higher than 18? Anyone get higher than 17?
I had to buy it because they're all most of the double sleeve.
Anyone get higher than
The box
15?
was too thin.
10.
I got 10.
Are you sure? You got higher than 15.
Mate, Alan, what did you get?
8.
I thought you rolled me.
No, that was with the plus 2.
Okay.
I
I
got
have
13
7, I
there.
rolled a 3.
I got 13 there and I got +4, so.
So, as your
Last time you got 9. Oh, it's not a roll.
So,
9 is
I'm computing.
chaos has begun as Jungle Princess flurries into the jungle. You see all of the pterodons start to flap their wings because they want to get away. You're up first. What should I do?
I'm going to go for the pterodon the Jungle Princess is attacking.
Excellent.
That's going to be sick.
I'm going to attack my Great
Really
Axe.
good cards.
Yep. So roll to attack.
Really pretty.
You run in next to kind of Jungle Princess.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh shit, does a 10 hit?
Does a 10 hit a pterodon? No, you go and the as you kind of go to bring your axe down, the pterodon whips its wing out of the way and then kind of comes over to your back and kind of almost knocks you prone as it goes to lift itself off the ground.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I use command?
Command, I believe. What does it say about
You
command?
speak a one-word command to a creature you can see within range. The target must succeed or cease.
Yes, you can use command. I was checking what kind of creature you need, but yeah, you could use command on your turn.
Oh wait. Later on it goes into if it doesn't understand your language, which is why I think it was never any use.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. Oriana,
Hello.
you've
yeah.
just seen you have just seen Scotch whiff with his axe. What would you like to do?
Whiff.
Whiff.
Looking, it
Oh,
says
I
I have
should
a
call
longsword, but I don't have it
The wife.
in my on my attack page.
Did you have to equip it?
Yeah, it's not in my inventory either.
I don't think you should have one, so there's no one.
Oh, it is. It says on
Plus
there.
my plus 2. What?
No, that's some proficient.
But they have their
Queefy just can't use
Oh,
them.
right,
Name's
oh,
Queefy.
okay.
Queefy.
Yeah, because I've only got like
Good
2
feet.
daggers and short swords.
Heat.
No. Skinny Pete.
I've got no.
What?
Skinny Pete.
Who's Squeefy?
No, would you like to finish
Yeah, okay, what would you like to do?
He's one of the characters. Yeah.
You'll get your sneak attack on the one that Scotch tried to attack.
Jesus.
Yeah,
We finished last night.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I could.
Only 8 years late.
Or
I always feel like I didn't watch the
what
last
if I
season.
was
And I
to
watched rewatched
cast
the last
my
season and
illusion,
go, oh, I did.
in front of it
I think my brain just
to
got it
scare
wasn't that great.
relic closer to us?
It looks like it's going up.
I don't feel about the ending still.
So if I cast it above it to keep it grounded,
You can certainly try. What would you like your minor illusions to be?
Finishes with him in the hole. Well, he's in the hole all the
or
time.
do I just want to attack it?
It's up to you. What would you like to do?
Uh,
I wouldn't worry about spoiling.
yeah, sneak attack with my short sword.
You're running up and trying to stab at your short sword. Absolutely, go roll to attack.
A week and you tell me what happened, I'll be like, fuck.
That's 17.
That'll hit.
Yep.
So that is 3d6.
Yeah, but-
Oh, you do
Well,
both attacks.
no one
Yeah.
listening.
18.
That's 2 hits. So that is 3d6, 1d4.
You know,
Plus
we actually have more people than you see on the screen. It's one of the weird
4.
things about it.
Oh.
8.
So,
Well, you're right, Julie. Look
12.
put out.
I was going to go bathroom, but they're being
16
few, so I'm going to
plus
wait.
2.
this what?
No.
3.
not
You,
There's a lot of girls
So
in this.
19.
as you, Jungle Princess sprints into the jungle, starts to scare everyone away. You go in, get your great axe, and completely miss. But you run in with your short sword. You leap, you drive deep into its back,
Ah, the
and as it falls on the ground, you get your dagger and very efficiently in the skull, and the creature dies.
Yay!
Um,
We killed one.
no, it was Oriana.
We
Oh,
killed
go
one.
Ariana.
Anastriana, it's your turn. Do you want to try and get another one, or are you just going to be satisfied with
I'll
Oriana's
give you a
turn?
pity clap.
I'm going to try and get a different one.
You're trying to get another one?
Yeah.
You're not there.
It's like
You don't know
David.
anything's happened.
You're in a different room.
Stop David in.
Sorry?
22.
22 will hit you. Hit another one that's trying to
You're
take
not
up
in
in
a
the sky.
different room. You're in a different part of the
This was a
jungle.
pity clap for Alex, not
Let me
Scott's
remember
bra.
what a D8 looks like. There we go.
It's like the pity clap I gave to Julia when
9.
she went to
That'll
the
miss. You see, it's absolute chaos. It's
Super
massive.
effective, real
9
bad.
damage.
Oh, what did you roll to hit?
22.
Was it clever?
Oh, I said it hit, didn't I? I was
Yeah.
distracted. It's fine.
It was when
Yeah,
I
we said
drew
that.
back, I was like, they know!
It's fine. You see, as one's about to take off, you pierce into its wing. It cries out in pain as it goes to try and fly, but you have damaged it. You're up. So one is dead,
And one is pinned to a
and
tree.
Oriana's. It's not pinned.
What's the situation?
That was my imagination.
What was the situation with the one that got attacked
Jungle
by-
Princess went for one that's just been killed,
And then
so
I
she
attacked
looks like
one.
she's about to go eat that.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Just so I know.
Wait, is it a live thing?
It's
Is it
dead.
not? It's not undead.
I have
No, it's
damaged.
just another dinosaur.
I've damaged another one, and it's got an arrow through.
I thought he was a herbivore.
That was
No.
when we
Jungle
rigged the
Princess.
race to win.
You made the herbivore win.
But it wasn't Jungle Princess.
Oh yeah.
He bought Jungle. He got
Yeah.
Jungle Princess was vomiting
I
everywhere.
got that last week. I was like, wait, what?
What would you like to do?
Yeah.
I am going to kill. No.
Revivify.
Revivify, yeah. What does Bane do?
Can't hear you, the Bane one eye.
You pay for a hit with cash, not card, Joshua.
Why does everyone get a good chair at 7:30?
I know that reference.
What are you doing?
I am. I'm going to cast Searing Smite.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so basically it's the same as Hunter's Mark. I've got a lot that do the same thing, which I feel I may need to rethink my
Maybe have a
spells.
relook at the disposal.
Yeah, I didn't realise that's what it did. I was just like, Smite! Fuck him up!
We can
So
use your Divine Smite as well. So Divine Smite is just if you hit, you can choose to use one of your spell slots to use a D8 extra. If you want to do that.
Good to know. Throw in the javelin. Did a 12 hit?
Searing Smite is for melee attacks, isn't it?
Yeah,
Your javelin
it's not a melee attack.
No.
That's a very good point. Can I use my battle axe?
You can run up to it and use your battle axe. Absolutely. You cast Searing Smite with your battle axe, you run up to it, roll to attack it, you've got a 12. 12 misses. Your weapons.
These guys are immune to battle axes!
your
Sorry about the late.
Wait, what?
That's alright, thank you.
Many messages and distractions
That's still got one thing.
and people like this to deal with all the time.
Wait, what?
Yeah, right.
17
What's that?
messages off you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry, Max. Thank you.
You run up to it with your battle axe, but you try to go into it. You try to break into it with Searing Smite, but you can feel its scaly hide. You don't quite get pierced through its hide. And then Jungle Princess is going to hoe down on the kill before you. So as you're there with your kind of dagger in its skull and short sword in its back,
I
Jungle
thought
Princess,
you were a vegan.
Jungle Princess lunges forward and starts tearing into the
Should she at
dinosaur.
least eat the bits that we're not going to eat?
She goes straight for the guts.
Yeah, she don't count.
She likes where all the juicy bits are. I once saw a lion slurp intestines like spaghetti
Sorry, where did you see that?
on the internet.
I've seen it in real life.
Did you thought he was going to high five?
Sorry, it was a leopard, and it was where Julia is. It was on the floor next to Julia, and I was in a very flimsy-looking vehicle, like,
I think it was good.
and it's just sat there like a cat, like any other normal cat, just like with this dead antelope or whatever in front of it.
Horrifying.
And I'm like, this is
Did it
single
make
pane
you want-
glass.
Did it make you want
I mean-
spaghetti?
No, it made me want to go home. That was cool. Can we leave now?
The rest of the dinosaurs fly off. You do get an attack of opportunity on the one that you missed.
Cool. I am going to use grapple.
You use what?
Did the one with the hole in its wing manage to get away as well?
No, he's at it now.
Oh, okay.
You got rope, like try and like sort it.
I do. Oh wait, no, I'm not with.
Does it speak English or whatever?
No,
language?
it speaks. It speaks.
Oh, I can speak that language.
Instead of taking off an arrow on my
Ooh,
inventory,
20
I accidentally took
bitch.
off my clothes.
That'll natural 20 or dirty 20.
I think dirty 20.
That's
yeah.
right. Oh yeah, awesome. You get your battle axe as it's going away. You roll damage. So remember, you don't forget your serious smite damage.
Like, how do I live?
What?
Give
Right,
me
so
breath.
that,
You let me
which is 6
So it'll
plus
be
9, and then the spell damage.
fire damage. I think it'll be the
It's
serious one.
fire damage, yes. An additional 6 fire damage, but it needs to, at the start of each turn, so basically my battle axe bursts into flames, and as I hit this dinosaur, there is an odd smell of barbecue in the air. And at the start, if I don't
I'm
think
going buffering up. That might not be a key.
causes the target to ignite in flames. At the start of each of its turns, until the spell ends, the target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a fail save, it takes an additional d6 of fire damage. On a successful spell, the spell ends. If the target or creature within 5 feet of it uses an action to put out the flames, or some other effect, douses the flames.
Magmon. The beast tries to fly away from you. And as it does, it comes just out of your reach. You lunge into the air with your great axe and you plant it straight in its back. As you do, flames whicker across the entire creature. You see its feathers all burn off, and then you boom, slam it on the ground. The creature dies, and you start to cook it with your axe. As everyone can smell cooking meat as you kind of start staring at this creature on the ground, and the rest of them fly away.
Cool. Would Queenie, Princess even, would she notice the smell of meat and be intrigued, or would she be constituted?
She is very buried. At this point, her head is in the kind of like the chest cavity of this dinosaur. So you could have your nice cooked meat, I guess, for you guys while she
Does
rips
that
the
mean we
shreds
don't
of
have to
dinosaur.
use our rations for the night?
Yeah, I'll allow you to, if you want, undo those rations. So you get 16 pounds of food from this, but that will be off by tomorrow morning. 'Cause it's
So
so
we're just going to eat some.
So you basically you can cook. You can with
Can
your.
I slow cook it with my axe and make it into jerky? Just so
That's not how
that
jerky works, is it?
So,
it's sun dried.
you
smoked.
can actually make a really nice meat
Well,
dish
it's on fire.
There'll be
with
no smoked, it's
your
different
cook
colour.
chef's
And
expertise.
you found asparagus and stuff, didn't you? You foraged.
Oh, it's going to
Yeah,
be
you
nice
found some
and
lovely
spicy.
vegetables.
Oh, the morning wheats are going to smell horrendous.
So,
Cowie's already pretty bad at the best of times.
Scrotch, do you put on your apron and stuff?
Oh yeah, the little hat on and everything. Yeah.
So you now have, as you all,
Are we
you
returning
guys,
to camp with them?
yeah, I imagine so. You return to camp. You kind of drag him behind these. Well, perhaps you leave Jungle Princess to finish off her meal, and then you drag back this corpse. You see them appear with a massive dinosaur.
Flask of wine. Do you have any tools?
Tools?
Twos.
Oh, twos. Are you like guys playing Go Fish?
He kind of looks at you and goes, Yahtzee.
Oh, for God's sake. No, go fish!
Fish?
Yes,
Oh,
fish.
you're back. Oh, you brought supper. Very nice.
I like the way Puffins
I'm
came
just
up
like
on the screen
dragging
and
the
said
dinosaur over to Flask of Wine, like, I brought this for you.
Give me a charisma check with advantage.
Oh, with
Why is there
advantage.
always someone trying to shag something in D&D?
I am not trying to shag, I'm trying to form a meaningful relationship, thank you.
And then, what'd you get?
What's my charisma? A 13.
Flask of Wine looks at the food, looks at you and smiles. And Flask
Yeah.
of
That was a 14.
Yeah, but I have a -1.
Oh, right.
Flask of Wine looks at you, smiles, and says,
You just read it wrong.
I just thought, you know, she could.
She's drunk.
So do you want to cook up a meal?
Yeah, I've already done the water, right? That was kind of
Yeah, water's all sorted. Yeah.
I'll empty
There is no help.
the remnants out in
Nice.
the muslin and then make a nice dish.
Here, read my mother's cookbook. This is an ancient family recipe passed down the Celestine line for generations, and I'll do the arcane inspiration.
Oh, as you're cooking, you feel. So I like to think that you have I'm picturing like a little leather wrap that you open. It's got loads of spices in it.
Oh yeah.
So you season the meat. You've got salt. You kind of salt the vegetables. You do all this lovely stuff, and it feels as if there is a presence with you as you do it. You're a chef. You know how you cook. But sometimes you're like, oh, does it need this or this? And you feel almost like your hand is guided to the right spices.
Like Brother Bear and Ratatouille mixed together.
Yes.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, you feel something. You feel something tugging at your hair. And you're like, ah.
Yeah.
No, but you feel like someone is guiding you to the right decisions. Everyone, Scotch Broth makes this wonderful meal out of dinosaur meat, the vegetables and stuff you found throughout the jungle, and you eat like kings in the jungle. It's amazing. You see Flask of Wine and River Mist, they're kind of like licking the plates at the end of it. And yeah, you've all finished.
Ah, delicious Scotch. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Gold cause.
I'll be very happy with my food.
Have inspiration. What's his face? River Mist comes up to you actually at one point whilst you're eating, and she says, "Scotch, are you? You don't happen to be the? I think we've spoken. The famous snow leopard."
Might be. Who's asking?
Oh, pardon. My name is River Mist, and this is my brother Flask of Wine. Flask of Wine. And he bows, and she says, I've heard tales of your fights. What you did for our people.
Yes. For the Tabaxi race.
Yes, no, well, it's an honour to be with you right now. I would love if you could tell me at some point the tale of how you killed the warlock and saved the Tabaxi.
Absolutely.
I will collect it. She says, I like to collect stories, you see. She pulls into a little pack and she has like a book. And she kind of flicks through it. She says, I've collected tales from all the adventures I've met along the way in my travels, and I'd love to add yours to it. Of course, I've heard it sung from the bards before, but I've never heard it told from your stomach.
Well, I can spend that night telling her the story. She wants to note it down.
So you see, she's scratching it down. She asks for details here and but how did his hair blow in the wind, and what colour was their fur, and really in-depth detail questions. Flask of Wine sits next to you, Anastriana. I have something to show you. He reaches into his bag.
Oh, magical sack.
And he pulls out a little ball of something. You can't really see it.
Is the purple
Isn't that every guy?
And he looks over and he shows you, and it's like a little ball of yarn, but it's got feathers and bits of fur and little plants kind of wrapped into it. And he goes, "This is my ball of soft. I don't show my ball of soft to many people." He kind of goes, he says, "When you get stressed, squeeze your ball of soft." He says, would you like to hold it?
Yes, let me.
Very gentle.
Let me hold your soft balls.
It's very soft. Thank you. There you go. You keep it safe. Keep it safe. That's fine. I want to be best friends with this man, with this tabaxi. I'm not trying to fuck him.
He sits there. He sits.
As much as
Really?
No,
That's
with
not
this
the
is
vibe
Flask
we're
of
getting.
Wine.
Oh.
This is the first time Flask of Wine has spoken, not
More than
following his
3
sister,
words.
and he's speaking to Anastrana. And he smiles and then goes back to the camp and he kind of sees it. He kind of goes back to the pot. And like now everyone's finished, he's trying to kind of pick bits out of the bottom of the pot.
I fight him for the pot.
As you come over, he pulls the pot, and goes, go fish. Keeps going into the pot.
See, guys, come on.
Great. Love it.
I reply to him.
Quasha spends a lot of the evening kind of meditating unless anyone speaks to him, and then Koopa Louie is this like this little vegetable guy, kind of like just kind of sits there looking at the trees. You can see occasionally he'll do this to Quasha, who will then speak back to him through like a series of whistles. They kind of talk amongst themselves.
That's going to confuse my dinosaur. Training bit with this.
Do you, I assume you put the muzzle back over. She's full. She's had her
She's in a
fill.
food coma.
Yeah, she's kind of just sitting like, you know, a picture of dogs lying down usually like curled up like this, but then sometimes they just lie like that. That's because she's just kind of like flopped out, wings out on the floor.
Very loud middle-aged women, aren't
Yeah, like,
What, in general? Yeah.
they? Just that corner.
Middle-aged women are quite loud.
no, yeah.
Excellent. You wake up the next day. Nothing happens over the course of the night. Is there anything you want to do whilst you're on watch, or is it just getting ready to go the next day?
Roll a perception.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
That's a 6, but
Just throw her out, Max.
I'll do one as well.
but I've got plus 12, so.
Don't forget
Plus
any
12.
more. It's not
Yeah,
like
because my perception's plus 6, and it's doubled because of my
thingy.
You said plus 9 earlier. So it's plus 12. What'd you get on your perception? What'd you get?
I think it's plus 9.
No, it's fine. It's just it's fine. One.
Yeah, so 6 plus 5 is 18.
18. You see, you can see the kind of like the way you can't see very much. There's not much going on basically. You seem to be safe. No one seems to be following you. You can see. You see. Yeah, no, there's not much to see. You see.
God,
Yeah.
it's showing
Thanks. Is anyone else doing it? Did you roll perception checks over looking on?
I went, well, I was going to until I saw the 18 and I thought there's not much point. Oh, that's a nat 1.
Yeah, now you see nothing. You spend the whole night. You spend the whole night kind of writing down your recipe and thinking how you can improve it next time. Again, as you think about it, you almost hear like a whisper in your, like a motherly whisper in your ear. You hear a lingering word. God, I wish he was nice like you. Then you wake up the next day, ready to go ahead.
This is terrible.
Yep.
Every time you use it on.
Awesome. The next day is 35 degrees. It is
Sonny, come on, Sonny.
not windy, and it is
He's like a voice.
drizzling.
Ooh, we can get some rain.
So you wake up and there is a light drizzle on the air. You can. There's a light drizzle in the air, and you can walk. You can set off throughout the day, but you won't. Usually, if you walk during a monsoon, you'll get exhausted, but you should be all right because it's just light rain. Back in your boats again, I guess.
Yes.
Again, the guides have a discussion. You're casting guidance.
Yeah.
They seem to agree this time. They know where they're going.
Huh?
I'm supposed to, like, cigarettes.
Yeah.
Shouldn't smell it. I was just.
There'll be a bit fag out the back.
I always forget that that's it. I was like
What?
confused. I was just about to turn around to someone. I was like, do you not need to roll your healing thing? And I was like, no. That's
Your
not-
perception's
that's
16, right?
not- Yeah. No, wait.
Passive, yeah.
No, it's 12. Because
Your
it's
passive
6 times
perception.
2.
Passive
Oh, my
I
passive
suppose
perception
it's
is
not
16.
loud.
You, when you're, what are they singing? Not the worst of the song. When you're, what are you doing on your boat?
I'm looking, so I've, every day I've just got my short swords ready in my lap. I'm just looking, scouting, scanning the horizon in the banks.
About midday, as you're kind of rowing down the waters, you see something underneath the water, swimming along. You can see there's a form, something big,
Okay.
and you can almost see it looks like maybe it's a red or maybe a pink underneath the water. Give me a perception check to see if you can see any more details.
4, so 6.
You can see this looks to be some kind of crustacean, like maybe like a crab or a lobster or something, but it is the size of your boat.
Okay.
And it's swimming about a few feet underneath the water as it swims along.
Is it swimming towards or away from us?
More like alongside. As Magmond and Scrotch row along, you are kind of overtaking it, but you can see there is something underneath the water,
Okay.
going the same direction as you.
I'll just look at the rest of it, like get everyone's attention and just point down so they can see.
Okay. You all see Oriana indicating that to you.
Is there a song called Shut the Fuck Up?
There is a
What's that? Shut up in your face.
no. There's a Blink-182 song which is. Oh no, it's
One
not
of those simple
Blink-182.
pandas shut
A
up.
song called Get Out.
Shut the fuck up.
But they're bringing in money.
So yeah, you see. Yeah. So Oriana indicates to you there's something beneath the water, basically. Does anyone have a look?
I'll have a perception.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check.
Investigation.
Oh, is it perception or investigation? Perception?
Or investigation.
Sorry.
Is it perception or investigation?
Perception.
What about perception?
Okay,
So
21.
Oriana's seeing something beneath the water.
I'm at 21.
It looks like a
I've
giant
got 10.
crustacean, really. But
21. This looks like a giant kind of lobster,
Nothing. I see nothing.
but at where the kind of the. I just remember what these guys.
You listen to the rock.
It's the loudest song I could get. They're not going over to the speaker.
You can see it looks like a big lobster, but it finishes in almost like a head, like a humanish head. Underneath the water, big claws, and it's swimming, like I say, a bit slower than your boat, but in the same direction as you guys, like a giant lobster with some kind of head.
Is this anything to do with the fisher folk that angered Aldani, or we're not that close to the
What does
basin?
that really say? You're not in the basin. What did I tell you again?
Well, there are the fisher folk which angered Ubdal
Yeah.
by catching and eating all of the lobsters in the river, and were turned then into monsters because they ate the lobsters. But I know that's in the basin itself, but I know we're still like 8 days away from there.
It's a story. You don't know how true it is, but it does sound like there's a lobster creature down there.
So it could be a
could be related, yeah.
lobster monster. Yeah.
This does flow to the Aldani basin as well, so
Yeah.
maybe
Shall we attack?
it's up to you guys. It doesn't seem to be attacking you guys. It seems to be kind of, like I say, it was kind of ahead of you, and your boats are starting to overtake it. It doesn't seem to be acknowledging you very much. In fact, as you get closer, it seems to go a bit deeper.
Okay.
For supply reasons, we probably should just go past it so we're not wasting health potions.
should we ready actions in case?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep an eye on it.
So you ready? You can all stand there with your. People with ranged weapons can like, if the creature attacks, you attack. You can ready that if you like.
I'm gonna go for a cigarette.
Let's just chaos unfold.
Yeah. If the lobster.
For anyone that is
kicks off,
listening,
let me
I don't know how many of you listening.
Release it upstairs.
Who definitely has work tomorrow.
Sorry.
Who definitely has work tomorrow.
What was I saying? Yeah. So you can. So you can see that lobster creature, and you're readying your action so that if it attacks, you attack, right?
Yeah. Just better safe than sorry.
After about 10, 20, 25 minutes, it starts to fade behind you. It doesn't seem to attack.
Okay, cool.
So it just keeps going. But yeah. No, the rest of the day seems to go
Swimmingly.
swimmingly.
Funny.
Good stuff.
How many days are we away from?
So this is.
Well, 3 now.
It's like.
Wait, so you're heading
God.
towards the Aldani
Yeah.
Basin. You're probably going to go past a couple of camps at some point. You were told, so you're about 1, 2, 3. River Mist will tell you that we are about 4 days from the first camp of the Order of the Gauntlet. There is a tomb there. If you wanted to go exploring in the tomb, that is about 4 days away.
Yes. Cool. I like it.
Treasuring tombs.
Yes.
And we want treasure because we are splitting treasure, yes?
Yes.
You remember this?
And maybe some undead in the tombs. Maybe some gold, ghouls.
Perfect.
Good and two.
3. In fact, no, you're 3 days from that place. I'm just going to roll a bunch of dice.
Cool, that's not
Rock's
really
fall.
what
That's
Oh,
usually how
die.
D&D works.
Don't piss him off. Fucking nerd.
He's the nerd.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did that.
Absolutely.
You're doing, that's what everyone does, and then she finished with that. I was like, fuck. Push the. Because we're good. Coming up.
My glasses.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So,
You crazy bitch.
Yeah.
You shook your hair down.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to fast forward the next few days.
Okay.
So I just
Oh,
rolled
sick.
a bunch of dice, and you didn't have
Wasn't
encounters.
that one we have to go back?
How much rations should we?
So you need to scratch off 3 days rations
And bug repellent.
and 3 days of bug repellent.
And
See,
it's
you say that it's never good. That was actually good because I was like, let's just see how far they get before something fucks them up, and you're all right. So.
Like
We've done
further
that,
than
we've
we
done that
should
with
have.
JM before, but it takes like forever between each one. So
Oh
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
She's like, oh yeah, so this describes snow and stuff like that, and you're like, and nothing happens, and you're like, could you not just, nothing happens, could we not just keep going?
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Temperature's fine. Rain.
There is my food and my
Oh
wine.
shit. Okay.
Oh. Things the DM says
Well,
that
soon.
don't fill me with confidence.
Someone roll me a D100.
My demon.
You don't want to get a 25 or lower. No, hang on. Who's rolling the D100?
Everyone apparently.
I was going to say.
Why
No,
why
not
are
me.
we rolling?
One person roll D100.
Go on,
Oriana.
Chloe. Roll
That's
the
2
D100.
dice.
You just don't play.
So you
What?
roll D100. So you need and the D10 roll them together. Yeah, roll them together and read out the result.
56.
Okay. This day, as you're rowing along, this is the third day. The waters have swollen at this point. You're kind of like, you can see as it's starting to push into the river, you're having to kind of struggle to get on as torrential rain pours down.
Monsoon!
The Tabaxi are so upset.
Just sat there looking like.
Their
drenched.
fur is like drenched. They're sitting there.
Is that Alex's character like half the size he actually?
Yeah.
I told you I'm not fat, I'm just floofy.
Actually,
But then
this
it
is
was twice the size once it dries
this
off.
is probably the first time actually Squatch actually looks fucking terrifying because he was poofy. Now it's all gone. You can just see rippling muscles underneath.
Ugh.
The other two are actually quite live. They're kind of sitting there, and they're all sitting.
The horrible rippling muscle.
Oh no!
They're all they're sitting in the boat, looking very upset, very pissed off. And as you're coming towards mid-afternoon, as you're coming towards the mid-afternoon, you start to come across. You can see it kind of like signs of like a settlement on the east side of the bank. So
I feel like Alex is missing the trick not flirting with the female today.
What happens if he's not into tobacco?
I'm not sure if I can have two people flirting with two
I'm
tabaxi.
not flirting, I'm trying to make a friend.
Definitely.
Pure
Um,
innocent.
You start to, as you see, come some kind of a settlement on the left side as you're going down the river. And as you get closer, in the kind of like the pouring rain, you come upon an abandoned riverside camp strewn with wreckage. The tents are mouldy and tattered, and all the permanent structures appear to have burned to the ground. 2 intact rowboats are tied off to a short dock. north of the camp is a ridge, built into which is an 80-foot tall stone statue, carved to look like a man with a crocodile on his back. Between the statue's feet is a stone archway leading to a dark tunnel.
Like as a leather backpack? Or as a
I'll show you a picture in a second. To the left of the statue is a crude animal pen with a small panicked bird running around inside of it. There are no other signs of life.
Okay.
Let me show you the crocodile guy.
What are we doing again? What's the camera 2 in my Rations?
Ooh.
Would that be a plateau?
Yeah, but that's not on Bala.
Okay. Is it overlooking the Aldani Basin?
No, it's not in the Aldani Basin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the statue you see. You guys want to see it?
While you're doing that, can I roll a perception check on the
Statue.
tunnel?
Oh yeah,
Probably the
okay,
tunnel.
yeah.
I was going to go with boats. Because there's
Like,
two
that really
intact
awkward.
boats.
Yeah.
Can I roll a perception to see if it looks like they've been tied up for a long time? Or
Yeah, give me a perception check.
well, I'll just do a general perception, but focusing on the boats if possible.
Yeah.
That's a 22.
So the boats have. So as it's kind of in this trench range, so the boats have kind of somewhat filled up with water,
Yeah.
and you can see that they have been here for some time.
Yeah. So the
Um,
rope looks all like worn and tattered and like mouldy and stuff.
Yeah, the tents are mouldy. They're coming down in the wind. The tents are blown aside.
Okay.
Was the crocodile eating his head, or is he wearing it like a thing?
Don't look at the map. Yeah.
I've done this bit.
It's kind of sitting on his back. It's not eating his head. No, it's like he's giving him a piggyback.
Can I set up a rain catcher?
Yeah. Well, do you all get off your boats and have a look around?
Can I investigate the tunnel?
I feel like the statue's misinterpreted a famous saying of the crocodile and the scorpion.
Oh yeah.
What?
So yeah, you can. Do you want it? You pull up your boats and you want to set up a rain catcher, right?
Yeah.
So the rain catcher is like a
It's
big
the Indian
canvas
one,
thing with
right?
sticks. And you all pull up. You want to go investigate the tunnel. So as you,
Sorry, are we splitting the party?
we can all go investigate.
Well,
the
I mean,
tunnel.
I'm not going into the tunnel, I'm just sort of investigating and hopefully
As you kind of come in, the rain's pouring down. You can see there's a few tents that are still standing that you could shelter in. You go towards the tunnel, and you see ahead of you just kind of like a long stone tunnel that ends in like a vertical wall with like a grid on it. You can see that kind of like in the darkness. You'd have to go in if you want to get any shelter, or you can go into one of the tents. Quasha kind of through the pouring rain, Quasha goes, I think I might know what this is about. If we want to get in the tent, we'll discuss. And you see Quasha kind of forges forward using his staff kind of through the pouring rain to guide himself. Feet slopping up through the mud, and he goes into one.
space there in the tent.
Big tent.
Oh,
If you go in, it's like a big army tent almost.
yeah.
And as you go in, you see there is a table set up inside.
So posh. I think you mean gazebo. No, you
I
mean
guess
something
I know.
very different.
I didn't see what you mean. I said like a gazebo.
Let's have the pins.
Where's the pimps?
Massive table in the middle.
I remember this from my days in the...
And you can see there's like this ground, despite being inside, is kind of churned up by lots of different blueprints. There's big planks of wood put on the floor for people to walk around, but there's no one here. Kind of everyone goes in. The Tabaxis with Mr. Flask and wine sprint for the tent, get inside, kind of shake off, go poof.
Oh.
Their tent.
Can I bring Queen? Will she fit in as well?
Yeah, yeah, you
Princess.
can-
I
you
think
can
it's
also-
really
Like
good.
rolling
Good
around in
princess.
the mud.
Just call her Queenie, just like you've named her Queenie.
Renamed it.
But I don't like the name Queenie either.
Then why did you call her
Because she's
that?
called Queefy.
Quiffy.
Queefy. And it's stuck in my head.
Rename her Chompers.
Chonkus.
Not Chompers, no.
Wackus bonkers.
Chungus.
Wackus Bond. No,
What do you think, Wackus Donkus?
Naughty Wackers. Stop eating the peoples.
Can't speak with animals. What do you think, Wackus Donkus? Kill him.
What is that
Naughty
originally
Wackers.
from? 'Cause it's all over TikTok.
Horrible histories.
Oh, okay, yes, now I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I bet you
Emperor
booked out.
Nero, I
I
think. 'cause
remember,
he went in
I
the-
recognised it, I couldn't place it.
I thought it was like,
A TikTok.
no it is, it so is.
It is. Yeah, so you get inside the tent, you all start to drive, you can hear the rain thundering down on the roof of the tent. Do you So you've been in short for a while. You will know this story.
Okay.
Do you want either I can read out the story for this question, or you can read out the story?
I'll tell it.
You want to do it? Don't read anything else.
I won't, I promise.
It's our favourite.
In fact, I can
It's
text
so
you.
funny. Julia's
quite
like
easy.
so more metal than I am. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I like to whinge about my girlfriend being shit.
Yeah. I like skate up on the thing.
Which of course now is no longer a thing.
Text it to
I like
me.
a jet.
Yeah, I can scan the text and just send it over. A messenger.
Love
I was
you.
going to say.
He said that he likes to whinge about his shit girlfriend.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, this means that in like 2 weeks, when we do it again, I can get through. I can smash these last 3 papers.
Okay. The light's
I'll have all
fucking
my
with it.
dice
So every time
points.
the light changes, it tries to
There's
refocus.
these papers.
Oh, let me give you
Just don't read anything else.
Is it
The box.
the blue box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Quasha will say, I think this temple refers to the tale of the crocodile and the man, I think. Do you know the story?
I do,
Scratch?
yes.
You're doing that fucking
As it
Sherlock
happens.
shit again, mate. Email has already been taken. Is it?
Go on, Scratch.
So this is the reason why it's raining. Why the torrential rain's coming down.
No, this is what the temple is.
Oh, what the temple is.
So the temple, which has got the man with the crocodile's back,
Okay.
is to do with this story.
So,
Please,
Do
can
you
you tell
know
us the
this?
story of the crocodile and the man?
Scotch bro?
yeah. So, as far as I know, in the early days of the world, man stood by the banks of a river, frightened. Crocodile raised his head from... Crocodile's his name?
Man and crocodile.
Crocodile raised his head from the water and asked, "What troubles you, cousin man?" Man said, "I must
I'm
cross...
not your fucking cousin.
I must cross this river, but I fear to enter the water alone, because it teems with your brethren." Crocodile replied, "It's true, you would not be safe, but I will carry you across the river safely on my back, if you promise to return the favour." Man agreed, and Crocodile bore him safely across the water. When they reached the far bank, Man asked, "How can I repay you?" Crocodile replied, "I wish to see the realm of humans, but I fear to go there alone, because it teems with your brethren. You must carry me on your back across your realm." Man had been tricked, but a promise is a promise, so he carried the crocodile safely on his back across the entire realm of humans, a journey that lasted many years.
I can show you.
He also swore in his anger that never again would men and crocodiles be friends, and so it has remained to this day.
Wait, what? How was he tricked? Oh, because he
Because
carried
he,
for longer.
the crocodile carried him across a river, and he had to carry the crocodile across the entire world.
But
Yeah.
That is more or less the story. As far as I know,
It's exactly the story.
there's a way, yes, there's more or less. I've heard variations, but yes. So if there's perhaps a temple, I don't know if there's anything. And then typically these temples tend to be trapped or have treasure in. So if perhaps there's something in the middle, I don't know. But if you wanted to explore the tomb, there may be treasure inside. The Tabaxis with Mist and Flask of Wine, their eyes light up, and they're like, "We will go in."
I was gonna say, I'm already walking it. I'm already heading
Can I do a survival check or something to see if there's any traps as you're walking?
So is everyone going towards the tomb?
Yeah.
I'd like to cast Detect Magic.
Cool. Couple of things. So everyone's going to the tomb, right?
yeah.
Everyone's going together. Do you want? Quasha says, "Would you like us to come with you, or would you like us to keep watch?" Or
Tell them to keep watch.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the tomb me and Bacchus Bunker's size?
Yeah, you're a medium creature. You're bringing Jungle Princess with you.
Yeah.
She's got her big barrels on. Do you want to take them off?
Oh
or-
yeah, we've taken them off. Every time we stop and make out,
Nice.
the taps there.
Okay. So you go back into the pouring rain again. The Tabaxis kind of sprint across until they get to the feet, and they kind of tuck in, but they don't go in straight away. They just tuck where it's dry and they wait for everyone else to arrive. You get then you want to cast Detect Magic, right?
If we're going to the tomb, yes.
So you cast it out the tomb. What's the range on Detect Magic?
Let's see. Detect Magic is self, range 30 foot, concentration up to 10 minutes.
You can detect magic, definitely. And the magic you detect is abjuration magic.
Okay. There's some magic around here. Aberration school. Could be interesting, could be traps. Be wary.
Could I roll a perception check on the entrance before we go in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
So nat 1 again, no perception. 2 times in a row.
Wow.
So
Roll perception.
I think with your plus 12, we're really good.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
15.
Fuck. That was a bad roll.
I rolled a 3.
What did you say? Well, with the plus what?
You see. As soon as you're kind of looking, you see this tunnel is thick with vines and weeds and lichen and moss and all sorts. And like I say, as you look down, you can see at the far end there is like a wall that goes up which has got a grid on it. And you have a look around, you can't see any traps.
Would I have advantage because obviously me and Tombs go well?
Is that part of your archaeologists?
I don't know where to find any of my.
It's in your background.
Is it background?
Wait.
When you enter a ruin or a dungeon, you can correctly ascertain its original purpose and determine its
That would
building.
be 12 of whatever that is.
Okay.
In addition, you can determine the
No, so I was kind of asking you.
monetary
Like,
value
it
of
was like
art
40
objects
cubes.
more than a century old.
That when you get 12
So-
seconds.
oh, so you can play.
So-
Yeah.
So
that's
any
the-
known
the
race,
event
I can
where the other ones just
determine
the pre-release boxes.
who it was built by and the purpose of this place.
So, this was definitely built by humans. From the stuff you know about Chulton, the research you did, Chultons, quite some time ago, and you can tell something of this complexity is designed
Then there's
to
the promo card as well. with the castle
protect
land.
something,
And I think there's just
Okay, so there's
like an artifact or something.
but I don't know if
so
that's different from each
but
one.
would I it like would that be like a burial
Oh,
or
each booster box pack. has 12
Potentially.
cards, one art card,
Okay.
one
Although
token,
this,
or a special card from Magic
burial
History,
sites tend to be more
nature,
celebratory of the person they contain, whereas this doesn't really talk about the person. This is a story.
Okay, so
It's just
I
more
know
like
it's-
a protected item.
yeah, okay, so yeah, I can work that out that we're not going to encounter any sort of like undead or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So there's no undead.
Not for certain, but unlikely.
Lame. Okay.
Oh, hang on.
Why is the price going?
I need to hang on.
Okay.
I need to read things better. You do actually see a trap.
It's a trap.
You see, as you're looking around, you see ahead of you, you see the floor in front of you. You can see a seam running down the middle. It looks like it's hiding a pit trap.
Okay. Can I? What would I be able to use to set it off or disarm it?
Press shopping cards.
It's a 20-foot, 23-foot high ceiling. It's a so you can see that it's a 10 by 10 foot square, so it takes up the entire corridor.
But quite clearly says store card, not sure.
You can't see.
Or card, not card.
Ah, strip it.
Are you gonna
You
set
assume
off
it's a
or-
weight thing, because that's what pit traps are. But given that you've been told there's magic, you don't know how that's involved.
I could go out and grab a big rock and throw it.
That's what I was thinking.
Wait,
Yeah.
can I wait? So wait, sorry. We're like at one place, and we've got to get to another place without setting off
Sure,
traps.
you are.
We're going down a tunnel.
Can I not just misty step to the other side of this tunnel?
It's the gift
Are we
of the
gonna go
go
for
Yeah, if you want. By yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Oh,
Wait, can I cast invisibility then misty step to the other
I
side?
don't mind doing it. if
By
you don't
yourself?
do
But
this.
it's still
It'd be good to do
pressure
with the
pointed, even
friends.
though you're invisible,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
still
just trying to
weighted.
figure out
Not if,
it's
yeah, but
actually
if you went,
working
if you
because
went.
no
So
one's
this is the
probably gonna be in the
situation.
office till
You've seen the pit trap, which is about 10 foot long,
Leave that, do it next
and
week,
then there
anyway,
is
carry on.
another
Absolutely.
10. You can see another 10, 15 foot stretch, and then there's that like vertical wall, which is like a ledge. That's what you can see. So you could get to the other side of this
Sure,
perceived
it's
pit trap.
19.
So throw a big rock?
Yeah, I like the big rock idea.
You go get a bit of rock.
Go with the big rock.
You go out back into the rain. Your fur gets wet again.
That's 4.
You find a fairly hefty sized rock.
So that should be Monday to Friday. So if it's getting shipped out on a Friday, that would be Monday.
What's your passive perception?
In this case, I do just do it.
It's 9, isn't it?
The weekends.
14.
Or if we're going to do it on the following weekend, do we just, I mean, it's only 4 quid different.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't really change it that much.
Yeah.
It's just how when you want to do it.
That's fine.
This
No
is
worries.
the problem. There's too many
Cool.
options.
You guys say you
It
find a
should
hefty
be like
rock, you pick it up, you
this
take it back in, and
fast.
you're throwing it on the pit
I
trap.
don't really
Yeah.
know to it. I didn't.
You take this
We just
really
do it.
heavy rock, you
Okay, well, I mean,
smacks onto the pit trap, and nothing happens.
let's pick up,
So it's
pick up.
probably
So,
only triggered by a living thing.
5 quid, 4 working days.
May as well.
What, and do it next
Or
Friday?
maybe
Yeah.
the rock has to be lifted up, like it has to be like a.
Yeah, but then it would only work when you're off it.
They won't have boosters
Could I go
for it
out and
tomorrow.
try and grab something that's alive? Like a small animal or an insect or something?
Oh, hang on. If
Well,
it was.
we really
Hang
No,
on, let
they've
me
not.
just.
They've not come through on the available yet. Because I've ordered some, and I get little notifications once it's available. So
I still have some.
I just think the more active releases have been too. Given that they keep retrieving so close, struggling to get
Sorry.
the stuff to the advertising saying that they have very limited spaces.
Oh.
Should I just be out looking for a caterpillar or something?
You want to, yeah, what are you doing?
I was gonna see if
I always put it through
I
a
was
series,
looking at
PayPal account.
the spell and the cantrip I have, because I've
Good
got
luck.
minor illusion and also disguise stuff, and I was gonna see, but I can't like. I was seeing if
Well,
either
it's
one of
about
those will allow me to like
1396.
astro project myself or something.
Okay. No, they won't.
That
What if I can buy?
I'll let you find the insect on the wall quite easily. You drop it on the thing, nothing happens. Go off.
Someone just stood on a dog.
What might trigger
No.
this? What might trigger this trap then, do you reckon?
Should I? mean, I've got pretty high acrobatics. If I could like do like some badass like Lara Croft gymnastics like shit to get to the other side, see if anything happens.
Yeah.
You're our experts in such fields. I'm just the academic.
What type of magic did
Can I
you
just say you can, it's like-
Yeah, what type of magic?
Abjuration, I believe it was.
which is protection magic.
Protection, yeah. So does that? Can I roll a perception for the trap?
You've
Like,
seen it?
yeah, but I mean, like, does it look like it's already been set off though?
No.
Okay.
Give me an intelligence check. But add 2 to it.
So my intelligence is +3, so +2 more on that, so it's +5. Okay. 10.
10 in total.
Yeah.
Ooh, should I buy the Leisure Suit Larry collection?
No.
Who doesn't want the leisure suite?
Okay, well, I might just risk it and then
So you're just gonna walk across.
not walk, but like sprint, like
You want to try and jump over it?
yeah, like
What's your strength score?
just strength in general.
Your score.
15.
You can jump across it.
100 bits telling me about it.
So if you
I
get
also I could no
if you
yeah.
get a running start, you can jump over it.
I also have where is it? It's not first
Are you announcing that you're going to try and jump over it?
Oh, there she is.
Yeah. I also have
Maybe a strength check.
yeah, but I have something that is about me jumping. Sorry. Yeah, so I have second story work.
And that's for
So
climbing more
yeah,
than jumping.
but and when I make a running jump,
Okay.
the distance I can cover increases by 1/4.
Yeah.
So with that, would I be able to get across the?
Yeah. You can jump across. Do you want to try and jump across?
I mean, I'll try it.
No, you can just jump across. You don't want to jump across?
Yeah.
Ariana takes a bit of a running jump. You run over the pit and you land comfortably on the other side.
Cool. Okay.
Click.
How fast
Give me a
is
perception
that?
check.
Oh my god, it's
16.
Actually-
28.
Yeah, 28. As you land, you get a bit more perspective of where you're in, and then you look either side of you, you're like, oh, a blade trap. And you've just jumped straight into the second trap of this dungeon. So, actually, highs or lows?
Lows.
Highs.
All
Yeah.
the highs.
You see an axe swing
gypsy,
out of the
told
wall
you.
at you. Can I get a dexterity saving throw?
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure that one has +6. Please be good roll. I might use your D20. No, that's okay. 13, 19.
19. That is a success, but you still get some of the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second.
Man, that fucked me up.
Okay, really there.
Red Bull in your wine.
Give her a heart attack.
Like the Chinese stuff, drink Coke.
You take 7 points of damage as axes slice across
Not
at
too
you.
bad.
Yeah, considering an axe, isn't it?
Oh god, it's Axe deodorant.
Oh, it's not fresh stuff.
And you can see, but you can see they cut past you and then they stop in the walls. So they've gone back in again.
Okay.
What's everyone else doing?
I can check for traps.
Are you okay over there? You've just got hit with an axe.
Can everyone give me an intelligence check, please?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Nat
Everyone here.
20.
Julia.
Maybe this, maybe the solution, maybe this temple has something to do with the story, the man and the crocodile.
That one.
Yeah, no, I don't know nothing. No one tells me nothing.
What'd you get?
I only got a 10.
Okay.
I got an 8.
Okay. You're the only one that thinks that. Then.
I got a 2, so I have no fucking clue.
So I announced to the group, maybe this has something to do with the story of the man and the crocodile.
Get on my back.
Oh, that makes sense.
What?
Am I
No.
free Sunday?
No.
Have you done this?
Who's asking?
Amber.
Oh yeah, you're free forever. It's just if it's your mother though.
What's everyone doing?
Can I ask you to run back? Or
What?
jump back over
I'm risk triggering it again.
trigger and what?
The axes.
Yeah,
Well,
she
are
really
you on the
had
other
to
side of the
Yeah,
axis?
she's jumped to the other side. She's jumped to one side of the other side of the trap
Yeah.
into another trap.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, but she's
So
still
she could,
in
so
that
you could
trap.
try and jump. Yeah, she's in that one.
Yeah, so
you
she
could try and
jumped-
jump back. You will no longer have a running jump unless you go a bit further into the tomb.
Yeah, she might trigger another trap or re-trigger the trap that she's
Or
triggered.
fall in.
So what you'd have to do is you'd have to go to the back of it and then try and run over again, but you do risk triggering the trap you're in the present.
Whereas there are other ones of us.
Wait, could I not misty step through the trap, do the thing, and oh no, because that takes 2 of my spell
You also
slots.
have to be see all the way.
You can misty step to where she's in block. Yeah.
Because then I won't get hit by the trap, will I?
You won't fall into the pit trap. But if you can misty step to where she is.
If you think of it as like Indiana Jones, potentially there could be a pressure plate that she's triggered, or somehow magically that she's triggered when she's landed on the other side.
Are you staying where you are, jumping back?
Yeah, I'm staying where I am.
You're staying where you are. What's everyone else doing?
Well, the
So
guy
regardless,
went
it's
on
up to
Crocodile's
the
back.
Yeah.
I don't know if that might help. Could I get someone to jump on my back? Can we try?
I'll jump on your back.
Okay.
Beaver jumps on your back. What do you do then?
So in front of me is a pit trap, but it's not sunken.
Not no.
It just appears to be that if you.
You can see there is a pit trap there. Yeah.
Okay. Could I test it with my foot?
Put your foot on where you think the pit trap is. Nothing happens. Nothing moves.
Okay.
Next step.
Wait,
Place my
wait, can
tail
I,
on the
wait,
foot
no,
on the
wait,
trap.
Can I give you some of my rope? Hold on to this rope in case it's a really long trap.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll give. Yeah.
You hold on to the rope. You put your tail on the trap. The trap doesn't set off.
Can you help me hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you okay with this?
Are you strong enough, Scotch Broth? I believe you are.
oh, I
And
get
with
it.
a
The trap is
squeeze,
the trap. Oh.
with a
What'd you do?
That's
with a
fucking
squeeze of my thighs, I will give him
Inception shit.
an inspiration.
What do you do?
So
So
you get
jumping
everything.
over
I'm
the
gonna put
trap
my-
triggers the actual trap.
I'm gonna put another foot down on the.
On
on
the trap does not go off.
Or having someone
Okay.
back up.
With
I'm gonna carry him close to
What you again, babe?
the axes that swung.
you get to the axes that swing, you get to that section of the trap.
Close to them, not to
Close to them?
not to exactly
You
where
get
they
close to
swung.
them, nothing happens.
One of you could ride.
Can I just poke my tail to where they would swing, where I
You
saw
put your
them swing?
tail next to where Oriana is.
I can risk it.
Nothing happens.
I'm going to walk in
Put my
between
down.
them.
You walk past the axes. No axes swing.
Okay.
Good job, Scott.
Can you misty step onto her shoulders?
Wait, can't you miss a step with someone?
No,
But I missed
we need
it.
No,
That's
I'm
dimension
thinking,
door.
I'm thinking thunder steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ride the dinosaur?
Are you going to be Mario riding Yoshi?
No.
No, because Mario's a guy. He's got a mustache.
So does someone.
Do you want to borrow my mustache?
Yeah, but Louise isn't here.
Bearing in mind he was a racing dinosaur, so he did have someone on his back at some point.
No, that's not my question.
He's not tame though.
What
The question
defines
is
a
whether or not it
sentience?
triggered the trap.
Because
You
technically.
want to get on the dinosaur?
Put the
Yeah,
dinosaur
fuck
on your back.
You climb onto the dinosaur. Give me an animal handling check.
Do it good. Don't get me killed, I swear to fucking God.
What'd you get? You try to get on and you're going shh. She goes, she's got a muzzle on, but she does not. She's not letting you. She kind of kicks out with her foot, trying to stop you from getting on her.
Fucking dinosaur.
With a +1.
It's shit. Alright, put this on Missy stepping over.
Naughty whack
You
is
misty step to
bonkers.
just next to her.
Yeah.
You misty step over. Can you all make dexterity saving throws as the axes click start swinging.
Did she not
I have advantage on dex saves. if
So give me
things
1
are
second.
aware
I
of.
think there is.
Oh.
Give me a second.
Do you want to mount me?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's not good.
Sorry
That's
guys.
what she said.
Have fun.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Not that I was surprised by how good my dance
Why does it feel like Fraser keeps shooting people? Kinship?
Probably is.
It's just
Probably
like,
storing them in the freezer.
There's nothing you
Okay.
could do that make that noise.
Did anyone get higher than
Just like
a
dropping baking trays or some shit.
Yeah, but we
13?
only have one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone get higher than
Jesus.
13?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
It's going to be more angry
Tom didn't say
in a
anything.
week.
He did.
Weaver has not spoken.
I now have 3
You
people
take
that want more
22
hours.
points of
I'm down.
slashing damage.
Oh fuck.
As you feel that Weaver goes limp on your back, you all take 11 points of
I've got
damage.
2 new people and now it's someone else.
Even if you
You need to save
You
me.
take damage even if you're in there.
oh shit.
Weaver,
happens.
what's up, Weaver?
I
Taking me
totally
down
killed
the
him.
dumb bitch.
I just heard you need to say
I'm an
Weaver.
11.
I'm like,
Sorry?
why? What?
11.
You'd have just seen this on the other side, and you'd just be like,
Yeah, me, it's just like, fuck.
You're now unconscious on that right. Has anyone...
Not died.
We have no like.
Where's
clerics.
the
The only person who could do people that could do healing, you were the other side of the trap.
You okay?
So, okay. We're going to initiative, but I'm going to do it...
This is why I rolled natural 20 for initiative.
I'm just going to do it clockwise,
Oh no.
because I can't really get them able to roll. And Smiles first.
Oh, you son of a bitch, I rolled 22.
I'm not... Well, you're first anyway.
Well, I know, but it's not it's the first time I've rolled above an 8.
I'm so sorry. Smiler.
Roll so
Sorry, Magmond. You can see that Weaver's fallen unconscious on his back as he's been slashed wickedly across his back. What would you like to do?
oh, fuck's sake.
Move on.
Wait,
Wait, hang on a
clarify,
second.
I'm on his shoulders.
You're on his shoulders, are
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
Okay,
He did ask
what
me
are you
to mount
doing?
him
So,
previously,
sorry,
so-
he's
He's
like,
unconscious.
Unconscious, as in like dead-ish.
He's not in death saving
Dead-ish,
throws.
yeah.
Tommy, you're used to this, right? Death saving throws.
In tombs.
I haven't even done anything to deserve this time.
You were just, you were just a backpack.
Like, I didn't do anything stupid. It was her.
I
Magmond.
did the stupid and I
Well,
Last time it was
I
to
just like to
save
say,
me
I
though.
would just like to say, Weaver, welcome to my fucking life.
Yeah.
I did everything right. Okay, so I am going to
I'm your healer.
what's the situation with the dinosaur?
She
Is
is-
Wacker's Bonker's going to be able to get across?
You don't know. You can
I'm gonna say
you can tie her up if you want.
I was going to say, can we leave her there?
I'll allow you to use your interact with object to just hook her onto something and then go. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to walk across with the lovely lady on my shoulders. She has mounted my neck. And I guess we're going to duck a little bit because it's quite.
No, it's 23 for ice demons.
Okay. Fine. I'm David though. I'm 20 feet tall because I don't understand. I'm what is it, like 7 meters tall? He said he was.
Yeah.
We're like, you're not. Anyway, we move through. I'm assuming nothing happens.
Yep, nothing happens. You manage to go over.
Are these guys on the floor,
These guys. Oh, great question.
or did they fall? into
Absolutely
something?
phenomenal question. Can I just say?
Quite perceptive for a fighty healer.
Yeah. Can I just give me a strength saving throw? We'll call it DC 13.
All of us.
I can't.
No, just
Scratch.
Scratch.
I did give him an inspiration beforehand. I didn't
Did,
declare.
Okay. Roll that and then add a
Did,
D6 to it.
Did you?
If he
Are you
wants.
dead?
No, I'm on 9. Hit points.
18.
18. You managed to keep him on your back. So you're with them now. He's still on his back. Everyone's still standing.
It's like limp noodle man.
Right. Okay. But he's.
Yeah.
Can I suggest you two jump on? Just someone jump on someone's back. I'm not sure which way.
Who's
best,
stronger
but-
out of you and I?
Julia, stop reading about weight loss. Who's
Who's
stronger?
in and who's
I like
back?
the way you picked your dice up. No, you just need to say who's stronger.
16, you could have ranked up
15, so you're stronger.
stronger.
So do you want to get on her back?
Yeah.
You're then on your turn. What are you doing now?
I am going to. Don't know what it's. So I'm going to cast Spare the Dying on Weaver.
On with it. You know, you've got not saying I'm just saying because you can give him hit points with your lay on hands ability as well. So you have 15 hit points to give out a day as a paladin.
Yeah, no, I'll keep that for like
Keep it in for later. So you spare the dying.
He's alive.
I'll
He-
take
If you could give me 1 hit point, I can actually start healing myself rather than just being dead weight.
So if you give him 1 hit point, he'll be conscious again. You have to do so.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah. Cool with that. I'm just sort of conscious that we might actually need it for getting.
You stupid bitch! You knew the riddle.
I'm just gonna turn around and be like, I wasn't listening.
And then I imagine you climb on her shoulders. Don't have to be an issue anymore. And you're all stood on each other's backs. River Mist and Flask of Wine come around. Flask of Wine is on the back of River Mist, tapping on her shoulders.
I've left a bit of meat with the dinosaur as well, so that it doesn't get
Absolutely
hungry.
fine. She is kind of crunching away.
Give me some hit points at some point. That would be.
I can't actually heal. I thought I had like lay on hand or something. I don't.
And given it's 11, I think we'll probably leave it there with you all on each other's backs, standing in
Yeah.
front of the big kind of wall in front of you.
Yep.
I'm just
That
gonna-
was so funny. That was so funny seeing you eventually go, I am sick of this. Miss this stuff. And be like,
I like
you
how
killed
it's
Weaver.
called-
Cool.
What?
I was like, no, I'm bored of this. I'm just fucking going. And then I was
To
like,
be
oh,
fair-
Nothing is more
fuck
dangerous
no.
than a bored D&D player.
It's just my character would have been there like, nah, I don't get
Also,
it.
every time I hear someone do that dungeon, it's like I hear the story, they go, oh, cool story. Now, how do we solve this dungeon and don't think about anything? They're just like, cool, good story, let's go. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll be back in a fortnight and
Thank
see if
you.
these guys can
As
get out
always,
of the
remember
dungeon.
you can donate to our Stack Up stream for all our streaming things, for helping veterans and what have you with mental illnesses and all sorts of bits and pieces. Also, we will be back on Monday with Tales of the Yawning Portal, and